Hello, my gorgeous light beings, my healers, my star seeds, my light workers. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, The Pleiadian Priestess. I have a juicy reading for you guys as always, so stick around and I'll tell you more about what today's reading is going to be about. Hey guys, if you stuck around, welcome. Thank you for being here with me right now in this moment, however you are, wherever you are. Today's reading is going to be about what do people admire about you. So originally I had a different idea that's kind of the same wavelength, but when I was, asking spirit for guidance, I heard what do people admire about you. So that's what we're going to go with, okay? I do also want to get into what compliments they give you behind your back, or maybe I'll say that for another reading completely because I don't want this reading to be too long. But yeah, what do people admire about you? I want to get into that. So we have three groups as always. For group one, we have the magician, ginseng. For group two, we have Palo Santo, guardian. And then for group three, we have Comfrey, completion. So you're going to choose the word, the image, the energy, the number 1 through 3 that sticks out to you the most. Let me fix them properly. I'm going to move my hands so you can see them. Nope, that's not proper. That looks better. Yes, you're going to choose the pile that calls out to you the most. And then as always, I will see you guys at your reading. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Interesting. My voice almost went out there. Welcome to your reading. If you chose ginseng, the magician, and the number 40, then you are in the right place. People love your power, people love your charisma, and people love your leadership immediately because obviously it looks like he's holding a staff like this. And that is always the signifier of a leader. I'm hearing spiritual advisor, someone who literally just guides people to their highest good. Because immediately what I'm thinking of is the staff that I think his name is Moses. I'm pretty sure it's Moses used in the Bible. He turned the staff into a snake and back into a staff to kind of like scare his brother into letting his people go, the Israelites, I believe. So there's something here about you having power. And I love how I'm saying that, and it's literally the magician. Yeah. So you do things that other people can't do, honestly. You make it look easy is also what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing that song by Megan Trainor. Don't I make it look easy, baby, when I do what I do. When I do what I do. Don't I make it look easy, baby? But I'm fooling you. So you make things look easy, even though it may not be that easy to you, but you just have that natural charisma. You're naturally good at things, natural born leader, okay? So people really just want to follow, do whatever you say, that kind of thing. You may see that happens as soon as you may step into a more powerful leader role, you know? And that's why, because people see you as a leader, or you just, like I said, naturally have that knack for being a leader. Okay, so now you make things happen for people. I'm hearing you change their life, okay? Obviously for the better, because we have the magician. So you're doing things that seem like magic that they didn't think of, or I never would have thought of doing it that way. Oh my gosh, that kind of thing coming through. So you come up with new inventive ways to do old things. Is also something that comes through or is coming through. So people admire a lot about you, and it's just coming through with this one card, but it's definitely you work magic. Whatever you do, you work magic. Okay, whether you're actually a magician, whether you are more of like the alchemist magician, whether you're a scientist, okay, whether you don't believe in magic at all, but you're on a tarot reading, that kind of thing, they just found you happenstance. There's something about the things that you do, the things that you make, that makes you make it look easy, and it makes you look very powerful. You know, when you're in your element, especially, is what I'm hearing. So here we have Jupiter, we have Uranus. So it's like things that people are not expecting. So I do feel like for whatever reason you may come off as someone who's unassuming, but as soon as you raise your voice, as soon as you step into that boss mode, or as soon as you start portraying or showing off your talents, people are like, whoa, you know what I mean? I wasn't expecting that to come out of you. You could be someone who's like, small and petite, and it doesn't have to resonate if it doesn't, but just for example's sake, you're someone who's short and, frail, skinny, whatever, and then you have this big voice when you start singing. People are like, what? We weren't expecting that voice to come out of you, you know? That's the kind of thing that's coming through. Okay, so now we have, I don't know what these red, you probably can't even see it because I'm far away. these red fruits. I don't know if that's what ginseng is, but I feel like ginseng is more of these things at the bottom of it. So maybe you're a root worker is what I'm hearing as well. You do well with planting. That could be something as well. You have a green thumb because some people are not really good at planting or taking care of any kind of life. Okay, whether it's kids, dogs, plants, but you are good at those things. You have the green thumb, you have the magic touch, you can make babies stop crying. You know what I mean? You're a dog whisperer, horse whisperer, that kind of thing. Someone who's like, of the earth, a very natural person. You can grow your own things, eat your own things. And that's what people admire about you as well. Because in a world where everything is fake, everything is processed, everything is just chemically induce whatever, you're someone who just sticks to living a natural lifestyle, easy, quick, to the point. You're not adding any extra chemicals and things that don't need to be there, preservatives, add-ins. Like, you don't believe in none of that. I was gonna pull. Why not? I don't have to go in a particular order. I'm gonna pull some cards from America's Love Oracle. This is not a love deck. There are a lot of characteristics in here. So, what do people admire about my group ones? Please, Spirit. What do they admire about my group ones? Tell us. What do they admire about my group ones? Okay. What is this? We have blonde female, lighter hair, laid back. So we're gonna go with the laid back here. You're someone who is very laid back, and I do feel like it's giving that kind of, like I said, of the earth hippie kind of vibe for you guys. So you're very chill, go with the flow, go grow your own herbs, live and let live, love and let love, that kind of thing. You're not really telling people how to live their life, but just because you live your life a certain way. You're very laid back in your approach. You have a lot of people who are vegan and they will look down their nose at you. Oh, you're not vegan, you eat meat. It's like live and let live. Just because you choose to not eat meat doesn't mean someone else doesn't have to. Especially since it was like it's so heavily placed everywhere in our culture. You walk down the street and you're gonna smell grilling meat. Some people that would curdle their stomach and turn them off. That could be you, and other people salivate over it, and you can't blame them because that's literally how they were made. It's hard to um what is it called, deconstruct those things you grew up believing in, those things you grew up eating, and then sometimes those things are comforts to you whether your body wants to eat it or not. So it's a whole bunch of factors that play into deconstructing certain lifestyles and beliefs. And you can't, like I said, you're not the person that's judging people for not eating meat just because you don't eat meat, or you judge people for eating meat if you don't judge people that kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't judge people for eating meat just because you don't judge people for living in an expensive house just because you believe in minimalistic living. You don't do those kind of things. You just live and let live, love and let love, and that's what people admire about you. That's hard to find these days because everybody has an opinion and wants you to believe what they believe in. That's not how it works. We have family. See, yeah, you're very good. You're family oriented as well. Origin, soul, family, and group. So what people admire about you is you're able to make anyone feel comfortable with that laid back approach and that welcoming energy, that welcoming air. That could also be a thing with the magician. Like, you go in any group setting, and it doesn't matter the race, the culture, the background, whatever. You are able to fit in with those people, and they make you feel like family, and you make them feel like family. You make anybody feel like family. Essentially, that's what people admire about you. You make anyone feel like family because, like I said, you have that laid back approach, and you could be someone, like I said, who grew up around a bunch of different people. You grew up in like a metropolis, as a cosmo something, an urban area like New York City, for example. Where there's so many different backgrounds of people, you cannot walk down the block without encountering at least one or two different cultures or backgrounds. So you're a very well-rounded kind of person. So you know how to fit in. Some people would call it code switching. If you're with other people who don't eat meat, you can easily switch to not eating meat. If you are with your friends who do eat meat, whether you're going to eat meat or not, it doesn't matter. You can easily fit in with them. If you are with a culture who's more conservative, you have the clothes that is more conservative. You have the air of someone who's more conservative. So you're just like someone who's like very well rounded. Um, Worldly, smart, intelligent, like professional, sophisticated, well put together, even though you're laid back in that approach. This is also gives me farm life, for example. So some of you could live on a farm, and that could be other people's dream life, and they admire you because you're living their dream life. Some people would love to work on a farm, but they don't have the means, they don't have the funds, they don't have the support, and maybe you do. Maybe people admire you for your family values or for the family that you do have, especially if you do have a nice house, a nice husband, kids to come home to. You're not worried about money, or you're not stressed, or you're not unhappy in your family dynamic. People admire that in you because you give them something to look up to, essentially something to work towards. Because with the magician card here, it seems like you have everything. you know And you're humble about it. You're not someone who's boasting. You're not someone who's, like I said, trying to push or judge people for not having the things that you do. Okay. Now at the bottom of the deck we have freedom, casual, being single, lightness. Okay. So whether you're someone who's single or you have a family, there's something here about people admiring both those things. And like I was saying with the whole, if you're able to be with your single friends, you're having fun. You're not talking about your man and your kids and your nothing. You're out with them dancing the night away, you know? If you're with your family or with your friend's family or with your spouse's family, you are very family oriented. So like I said, you adapt to the environment you're around very well. Some people find it hard to. You, it's very easy for you, and that's an admirable trait when people are looking at you, you know? So we have laid back, we have casual, being single, lightness. Like I said, that's coming through twice. A very laid back approach to life where people don't feel judged by you, which I love, honestly, for you. So thank you for being that kind of person. It's hard to find out here. So people love, they admire your family dynamic, your laid backness. Maybe some of you could have bright red hair. They admire that as well because that's also something rare to find. So just in general, you're rare, or you have rare characteristics, personality characteristics, or looks. You know, you're someone who like maybe you could be someone who's black with blue eyes. And they're like, what? I've never seen that before, and they're admiring you for that, even though it's like superficial because can't help how you were born. You're someone who has red hair, and like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. You know what I mean? Those kinds of things. So it's either characteristics, personality wise, or looks wise that people admire you for. You know how to put an outfit together really well, make it look good, and it's not the most expensive, the most superficial things. It's just like you know how to dress and look good. You know. And I do feel like it started with your family. So people admire the family you came from or the family you built. You know what I mean? So your mom, dad, brothers and sisters, when you were growing up, everyone admired your family and how you guys, operate as a family unit. Everybody looked good. All the kids' hair was done. All the kids were smart, well spoken, all that kind of thing. You had a nice. You came from a good foundation essentially, and now you're able to build that foundation with your kids and your husband or your wife or your, that kind of thing, and you're like the picture perfect all American family vibe that I'm getting from you guys. Doesn't matter what background you come from, whether you're American or not. That's the vibe you're giving, the American dream kind of vibe. You're living that, and that is very admirable as well. So now we're going to move on to these cards here and see what else comes through. If you're hearing people chattering in the background, I'm sorry. They don't know how to stay quiet in this house. And also the AC, you can be hearing it. In the last two videos I did, I wasn't really hearing it that much. So like I said, the mic picks and choose what it wants to pick up on. So yeah. What do people admire about my group ones? Please, Spirit, what do they admire about my group ones? What do people admire about my group ones? I realized I just started like pulling Oracle first and then Tarot. Like I used to be a Tarot first, then an Oracle. Hmm. Somebody here, people could admire you for being an Oracle that just came through. I'm just chattering, messages are coming through. Yeah, maybe you're someone who is able to rely more on your intuition now. Maybe you were someone who needed Tarot for clarity. And I do feel like Oracle cards provide more nuance. Tarot cards have set meanings. Oracle cards are the meanings that you give the card that you feel from the card. So like you're an oracle, you, like I said, you go with your feelings, and that's maybe how you grew up. That kind of person, you were very much in touch with your intuition, feelings. You could have been a very sensitive, emotional child, or it's somebody that you grew into. And we have Uranus coming through again with revolution. So you do things very differently. And here we have Saturn, and then here we have trine flow, um, confirming that freedom, casual, and laid back energy that was coming through for you. So it's being confirmed with these cards. Thank you. Saturn is wisdom, but you're very wise. Like I said, there's something here about you like being worldly. You read a lot, you're well spoken, you have a good education or a good background, you came from a good foundation. Or even if you didn't, you came from a very wild and unstable background, you made sure to build a life that you wanted, the life that you did not have, for example. You came from a wild background, your family never provided that stability that you craved and that you wanted. So you made sure to find that for yourself. And because you had, that's even more admirable because you had no example for that, but you made that happen for yourself. The magician, literally. So you make something from nothing, the alchemist. The Virgo was also the alchemist in this deck here. So I did something about alchemy. You turn one thing to another thing. You turn rocks into gold, that kind of thing. You turn water into wine. That's the kind of thing that I would say. You turn sticks into snakes. Okay? Interesting. You turn sticks into snakes. Sticks. I feel like when I hear sticks, I think of someone with a stick in the mud, someone with a stick up their booty. So maybe you turn people who are like very rigid and set in their ways, you make them want to change into like snakes. Snakes aren't the best example for what people would want to be, but snakes also do mean shedding old skin and becoming something new. It's a transformation. Snakes have many different meanings. It's a bad person, or it's someone who went from a stick, someone who's very rigid and unmovable, immovable, to something who's more flexible, doesn't have any bones, it's an invertebrate, or yeah, invertebrate I think it is. And they shed their old skin very frequently. So you're someone who's always shedding your skin, or you could have gone from someone who's a stick in the mud to someone who's more malleable. You're able to change with your environment, like I did say earlier, yeah. But I am getting the vibe of you are able to turn people from sticks in the mud to people who are willing to change. You just have that influence. It's the vibe that I'm getting from you. Saturn is giving a little bit. It's funny how we have blonde. We have laid back and we have casual, being single lightness, but then we have Saturn, which is the most harsh planet. So I do feel like maybe you have times of like being the harsh, no nonsense, blunt honesty person, and people admire you for that as well. Because not everybody's gonna tell it like it is or tell you the truth. Maybe some of you are Aries, some of you are Virgo, some of you are Aquarius. That kind of thing where you're just always gonna tell it like it is, even if it does hurt someone, because you're doing it for their betterment. Essentially, you're not doing it to be spiteful or vengeful or mean. You're just doing it because you can't be anything but honest, which I love. Honest Abe. Some of y'all coming through. Um, Trine flow harmonizes aid. That's what I was saying. You help people become better. You're always giving that help. You're Moses freeing his people. You're Moses listening to the divine cues from spirit, listening to the messages God were giving him and following him blindly and faithfully, and freeing his people. Getting them to the promised land, essentially parting the Red Sea, like doing things that regular man or women cannot do. That's you. Bars and stuff. Yeah, energizes, enjoys. So people do enjoy being around you. They do feel ease when they're around you. That's that flow, the laid back, the casual coming through again. And then we have indulgence. So I do think a lot of people indulge you in a way you don't realize because you're so used to that. So it's like you get whatever you want essentially, which is that magician energy coming through again. Like people just give you what you want. You're spoiled in that kind of way, or you're a very good manifester and you don't realize that because that's always been your life. But to people on the outside looking in, they're like, "Excuse me, why can't she get whatever she want? Like, why can't he get whatever he want? Why whatever they go after they get, and I'm just sitting here stuck?" It's like that is something that's admirable in you because it doesn't happen to everyone. Uranus is your someone who's unpredictable. And people love that because I love how we have the wheel here. And I was going to say that like things changing, turning your brain, that change that is necessary with that Saturn and Saturn is Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and that is Uranus. So Aquarius traditionally is ruled by Saturn. More modernly is ruled by Uranus. Okay, so Aquarius coming through twice here. We also have Capricorn, so someone who's very responsible. Like I said, you can come through with someone who's rigid and set in their ways, or that's who you used to be, and people admire you for the changes you were able to make in your life to become more relaxed and laid back and in flow. Like I said, someone who's very strict and religious, now someone who's more spiritual and allows different teachings from different spiritual practices to guide their life. Why do I have to choose just one? Why can I not adapt all of them? So, yeah, Uranus, you are changing things for the better. You are bringing in abrupt, sudden, and necessary change as Aquariuses do. And it's funny how I mentioned you could be an Aquarius, and that was just by the blunt honesty and truth, but it is coming through in Uranus. So, yeah. Yeah, breakthroughs, brainstorming. So yeah, you're the perfect friend to come to when you're in a bind, you're in a sticky situation, and someone needs help getting different perspectives or just getting advice in general. Like I said, whether you have actually traveled the world, you're just good at giving advice. That Virgo coming through again, essentially. You give them the truth. You don't hold back, and you do not sugarcoat. You're not the kind of person, because you want people to be better. You are the kind of people we need if we want to get better, because if everyone's just telling us what we want to hear or, sugarcoating things, nothing's ever going to change. And you're somebody who's big about change and good changes, positive changes, because you made them to your life. You see how they change your life. And now you show other people how to do that as well, if that makes sense. Okay. So you have a lot of insight. Yeah. Awakening technology. You could be really good with technology, phones. You're just that's the era we're going into. And it's funny because I have an app called the Pattern app. I recommend everyone download it because it be in your business real bad. Like, it shows you your chart, your transit. They let you know. But they also like started branching out into more things, But those are things that to pay for, honestly. But the things they give you for free is just astounding, honestly, in my opinion. You can check bonds, the bonds you would have other people. They tell you how compatible you guys would be. It also used to be a dating site. I don't know if it still is. You can find people based on astrological compatibility kind of thing. Um, what else? You could do bonds with your favorite celebrities and see how you would match with them based on the information they have on that celebrity's chart. That kind of thing. Pattern is just a great app, honestly. But they were telling me there's something about Aquarius coming through. I didn't read it, but I saw it on my notifications, and it was like we're going into the era of Aquarius now. So things are going to be changing. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of person you are. Maybe you were meant to be one of the Aquarius leading people. The aliens are coming to change the world. You, revolutionary. We have experimentation, unexpected, rupture, edge, diversity, lightning, and rupture is giving is giving rapture, and I think rapture is like when I think God like casts his will on the world and we're set into rapture, child. You know what I mean? I think what is it called? The flood was a rapture moment, and that's you. It's giving judgment a little bit, that awakening coming through. But this technology, Uranus energy coming through, I'm getting yeah, I was saying something about sciences here. You could be someone who believes in science as well, but also spirituality. And because you are that kind of person, I think we need those people more than ever. So I'm someone who believes in science. I believe in medicine, that kind of stuff, but to a fault, to a point, because spirituality is things that can't be seen. Science is based on things that can be seen and can be proven. You're someone who operates in both fields, which I love. Because like I said, we need more of that. You're realistic, of course, but then you also know there's something that you can't feel that's there, because some things are just like, how do we all get here? Why is everything connected? Why does placenta out of a newborn, out of a woman who just gave birth, resemble a tree if you leave it to set? Like, these things, everything's connected. And if you were to look in the human eye, it looks like the galaxy and the stars. Like, what do you mean? No, stop it. We're all connected, okay? And it's not um unbelievable, because we did start, if we're going to go by science, the Big Bang Theory. We were all made from a big explosion, so we are just stardust. We're all particles. So it would make sense why our eyes look like galaxies. You know what I mean? Why we're affected by the moon and stuff like that. So some things just are demand to be felt, not seen, not overthought. Okay, and you're the kind of person who balances both really well. So now we're going to get into the tarot cards, even though I didn't really need them, but it's a tarot reading, so we must. We must. Before that, I want to get a card to put right there because it's a blank spot. What do people admire about my group ones, please, Spirit? What do they admire about my group ones? Okay, that was fast. If those raggedy kids in the hallway do not go in their house, we have the beaver. Okay, that's it. And at the bottom, it's funny how I was mentioning tree. At the bottom of the deck, we have tree, so we'll take that as well. Okay. So with the beaver, we have things that work against you, but persistence pays off. New things on the horizon, determined repetition, making dreams real. That's that magician energy coming through again. You make your dreams a reality. And look at how she's floating in the sky. It's kind of like you believe in those things. You believe in flying and teleportation, magic. You believe in that, but you also do believe in the science behind things as well. Um, you don't give up. You're very determined. That's the Aries energy that I was picking up on earlier. And you always have projects in the works. You're always busy. You're always going. You have different things going on all at once. And people are like, how do you do it? You're a mother. You're a wife. You're a CEO. And like, how do you do it all? You're just like, I don't even know, but I do. It's giving a manifesting generator or generator, those kinds of vibes where you're able to do multiple things at once because you just have the energy to do so. For example, maybe excuse me, sorry, a reflector or a projector, they wouldn't be able to do that because their energy is not inexhaustible. But a manifesting generator and generators is, that's what they're here to do, the work, do the heavy lifting essentially, you know? You're here to do the heavy lifting. You know, newsflash in case you didn't know. Um, So we have the tree, you're grounded, you're fertile. There's something about lineage, and that's funny because family came through. We have health, vitality, roots. Yeah, your roots, your foundation, like I was saying. Personal growth, past lives, evolving, connection to source. So you do have that connection to source. There's something that was coming through. Star seed. You could be a star seed. I feel like a lot of Aquarian people do resonate as being a star seed. You know, I do resonate as being a star seed as well. I'm Pleiadian, okay? Others of you could be other from other star systems, but you resonate with different star systems. The Draconic star system. We have the Syrian star system. We have the, what is the feline one? It's not coming through. The Lyrian, I think they are the Lyrian star seeds. Like whichever one you resonate with, you resonate with it for a reason because you're a star, so you don't really feel at home here on Earth, and you just have the, like I said, we're connected to the stars, and it's funny how I was saying that. Yeah, we're all connected to the stars, but you more so than anything because you could have lived past lives in other star systems, and that's why coming here you don't feel at home, and why you're trying to change it for the better. Maybe where you live in the other stars, where you lived in the stars before, that's a better way to put it, was more healthy, was more sustainable, was better essentially, and you come to Earth and it's just ghetto here, I'm telling you. And you're trying to fix it to make it more like your home planet. But by doing that, it's making positive changes. You know, I'm not thinking it's a bad thing at all. Like the way a man would like find a woman and want to change her to be more like what he wants, and it's not a good thing for her. This change you're making is a good thing for us, okay? It's giving like a kind of like a Martin Luther King Jr. kind of person with the whole making dreams real. I have a dream, bro. And there's this joke that I saw on TikTok or Instagram where they were like, "Why do black people not have dreams anymore?" And they're like, because we killed the only person who ever had a dream. It wasn't funny, but it was clever, I must say. And it's like we don't have dreams, and I don't know if they meant we don't dream like when we go to sleep, or just in general how a lot of black people maybe just don't have ambition to do anything. And it's like because we killed the last black person that had a dream. And I'm like, y'all really aren't funny. Like dark humor, funny, but dang. So what do people admire about my group ones, please? What do they admire about them? And I'll just take these. Your resilience, you don't give up. Seven of Wands. How you defend other people with your wisdom and your knowledge. You're always willing to go toe to toe with someone. You don't back down from a challenge, which we love. That's the Aries energy coming through, that Mars energy coming through. I don't know if we got Mars. Maybe you are someone who has like anger issues, or you're intimidating with that red hair coming through. Because people who are known to have red hair, even though it's blonde female, I don't know kind of sense because that hair is definitely red. Maybe people say, "Oh my gosh, red hair. They have a temper. They have anger issues, that kind of thing." Maybe you are someone who gets impassioned, and people call it aggression. Yeah. Okay, that's the Seven of Wands energy because they're going to stand their ground. They're not going to give up. Here we have the Lovers in reverse. I don't even know how long this read doesn't need reversals, child. The Lovers energy here, but this card definitely does need to be covered up because we have some new to say. I like it when I'm unpredictable. I hope that's even covering it, child. I hope it's covering it. Okay. We have the Lovers. Gemini energy. Yeah, you do things with love. Like I said, when you do things to help elevate the energy or help elevate the collective as a whole, you're doing it out of love. And that's because you are divinely put here for a reason with the angel presiding over these people. There is something here about you having a family, and that family, or your husband or your kids, whatever, being an example to what we're supposed to achieve or look up to or have, that kind of vibe coming through with the whole Lovers. And we have a divinely led couple brought together for a reason. Like you're destined to have someone, a partner in life, essentially, who helps you bring this dream into fruition, that into reality, make your dreams real. So here we have the King of Swords in reverse. Now I do get the vibe that you are someone who is truthful, but you're not harsh. Like I said, you are telling the truth, okay? And like I said, I'm not taking reversals. So you have the King of Swords, you tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, okay? You're not someone who's, I said sugarcoating, that kind of thing. This card is coming through to confirm that. Now I need something else to cover that last card because. And I love how the thing that I took or brought down is a little teacher plaque. It has a teacher takes a hand, opens a mind, touches a heart, shapes a future. That's you right there. King of Swords. You have air energy coming through. The way you speak, the way you talk, the way you communicate, the way you, like I said, portray things. It's like a motivational speaker, someone who's good at making people believe what they say or convincing them, or just you have that speech. You will be, like I said, a good leader. Good at giving speeches. So whatever you say, people want to listen to. We have Knight of Cups. That's not like a hopeless romantic. People admire hopeless romantic heart, which is why you may be destined to have a partner here with the lovers. I'm turning to the side so you can see more of the card. Maybe like why you're destined to have a partner, because you are someone who is just a hopeless romantic. The Knight of Cups is a hopeless romantic, and you show people how you feel about them. You do not say, "Oh, we have the star Aquarius energy coming through again." So it's like you show people how you feel. You tell them and you show them, and people feel loved by you. It's something that's coming through. People feel like you're a star on the rise, that you have a destiny, that you're meant to shine, and nobody can dim your light. And you have nowhere else to go but up with this tree growing through here. Like there's nowhere left for you to go but up, because you're always fighting for your dream, you're fighting for what you believe in, you're fighting for justice, and you're fighting to get people to get information out there. I think the downfall of this society right now, as it is no one is reading, no one is looking up things, no one is trying to learn anything, especially like government things right now, the way the government is. But we're hearing about this project 2024, and they're basically saying how if Trump gets in office, how the Republican has this 200 and something pages of things that they're going to change about how things we fought so hard for, things that we have revolutionized here, interracial marriage, same-sex marriage, things like that. They're gonna take it away if he gets in office. So it's not about liking Biden or not. It's about what is best for the country right now, and so we can get somebody better up in there. You know what I mean? We don't want Trump in there. He's a convicted felon. He is a rapist. All those kinds of things. Do we want that kind of person just literally to as a leader? Whether you like his policies or whatever, I don't care about that. That kind of person as an individual, fundamentally, you want them in the office. That makes sense to you? That feels right for you? Everything he's done and gotten away with, no. But people don't want to learn the facts, so we have to resort to social media, and then people will click off the video because they have short attention spans. Nobody wants to do the work and read for themselves. You need to tell them about it to make change. And that could be what you're trying to do, what you're meant to do, essentially, which is why people admire you, because you're telling them the harsh truth. Like, things are only going to get worse before they get better. But sometimes, whether you like this person or not, we need the Democrats, not Biden, not nothing. We need Democratic people in the office for the next 4 years so Trump can't get up in there. It's not about if you like the man or not. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. You're telling people those harsh truths. They don't want to hear it, and no one's doing their research. They're just listening to what everyone else says. You have to have your own mind. And that's literally what this tree is. Like, you have nowhere to go but up. You're a tree that's growing and blossoming. It's like you're bringing people with you, the family tree dynamic. You bring people into your soul family, and people follow behind you. They see a video of yours, and like, I like what she's saying. She makes sense, or he makes sense, and they follow you or they subscribe to you or whatever, and then you build that following and that soul family. You're taking them with you, and making them think and making them want to learn more about stuff and ask questions, that kind of thing. That's what people admire about you. Like I said, the teacher here, you're shaping the future, period. Okay. But yeah, the start, not me having her all out. Yo, I don't, these cards is crazy. Now, that's why I stopped using um the kind of Rider-Waite tarot format decks. Because you gotta keep covering them because YouTube wants to be stink sometimes. Like, it's annoying. I'm like, I just want to put my cards down and I don't have to worry about nudity. Dang. Anyway, there can be something people admire your chest, because that was just there for a good minute, if y'all to see. Yeah, they admire your chest, and that's what's being shown here: your body, your physique. The way this person is also working out, kind of by maybe you have a strict physical regimen, and people love the way your body looks, essentially. Because if you are eating healthy and working out and stuff like that, your body has to look good. I mean, not for everyone, but for most people, it doesn't matter what your body looks like. People admire what you do to keep it healthy inside. Because we had health here. Yeah, health, vitality, personal growth. So your personal growth, your physical growth, whatever journey you happen to be on, people are admiring you for it. If you're someone who's bigger, trying to get smaller, or trying to get healthier, we should say, people are admiring you for your efforts, okay? But that's all that I have for you guys. I don't want to keep ranting on and on, but I hope the shooting resonated. Keep being you, keep doing. They said, but persistence pays off. That's the Seven of Wands energy. Sorry, I got sidetracked again. I love how we have this like a very open field. You represent like I don't know nature to people. I'm hearing nature versus nurture. I don't know if that's to do with anything. Maybe that's something you've studied before. It's like the things you nurture. That's how you. Okay, so basically the whole thing behind nature versus nurture is, are people destined to be a certain way, or is it how they were brought up? Now, the first time I ever heard of nature versus nurture was in a documentary my friend made me watch. She always watches the creepiest stuff and I hate it, but I watch it because it's interesting. It was like a triplets, I believe it was. They were born into a very wonky program that was making impregnating women and selling their children or something like that, or putting them up for adoption. Or no, they were taking women who were addicted to drugs and stuff like that, who couldn't take care of the kids, and they were like giving their babies away. But it was a part of like a conspiracy thing plot. Okay, so essentially, this woman had triplets. They gave each child to a different household, and I think maybe what they were trying to explore is the nature versus nurture as well. So one of the twins, not twins, triplets, ended up unaliving his foster father, and it was because the foster father was abusive and a drunk and like I guess was doing things to the one of the triplets. So basically, the whole thing was: is it, are people born a certain way, or is it how they're raised? Okay, and basically the documentary was going into that, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I still don't like it, but it's interesting. And basically the twins that came from a nice good household, the family, they turned out fine. They were upstanding citizens. But it was the one that came from the household where the guy was, like I said, the foster father was on drugs and abusing him, and just like he couldn't take it anymore. He just came and just, it was a very brutal scene they found. And then I think he unalived himself after he did it. So basically, the whole thing about the documentary was, like I said, nature versus nurture. Do you turn out a certain way, or is it how you're raised? We still don't know, because I don't know. It's not that cut and dry for everyone. Some people are just a certain kind of way, okay, and then some people are raised that way. It depends. So that could be the kind of thing maybe you're studying or that you're into. Like maybe if I make a change and try to nurture people, maybe it will make a better impact on the world, instead of just saying people are going to be how they are. No, like I said, you change people for the better. Exactly, the magician. You do the God's work that people can't do. Make them see things and turn sticks into snakes, and not the bad kind of snakes. Okay, I'm done now. I don't know why I went on the whole tangent, but it may have been important. So yeah, um, yeah, you're very nurturing. You provide sanctuary for people here with this beautiful sunset, this stable tree. You provide that stability that people feel comfort in, where they want to stay and grow and be a part of your family, your soul family. If at that, at least I wanted to say, if they're not blood related to you, the least I could be is be a part of their soul family. Follow behind them, encourage them, build them up the way they're building me up. Nurture them and nourish them the way they're nourishing me. Support them, the way they're supporting me. That kind of thing. That, like I said, people just give you things, and things just happen for you, and you don't realize just how good you may have it. The people who are admiring you do realize how good you have it. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done. I hope the stream resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Palo Santo, I just realized 55. Okay. If you chose Palo Santo, 55 Guardian, then you're in the right place. This reading is going to be about what do people admire about you, or what they admire most about you, I can say. I meant to do another reading, but this one came through when I was asking Spirit to clear the energy and tap into the energy. I was like, I usually ask them to bring in the messages for blah 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 blah, whatever the topic may be. And I was like, I had two different topics, floating around in my mind. So I got inspired and then got up and jumped up to do a reading. And then I was like clearing out the energy. They said, no, do this one. So I'm doing this one. What do people admire most about you, or just admire about you in general? The other two readings I will get to eventually. But with Palo Santo, I do feel like you guys are protectors at heart. You're a very big believer in keeping people safe, making them feel like secure, giving them a place of sanctuary. That kind of thing is definitely the vibe that's coming through for you guys. You're just protection, and the way Palo Santo is a clarifier, it's a cleanser, and it's to clear out any negative energies. You're the kind of person who you could be an energy worker where you fight off negative energies, kind of like giving exorcist, if you will. May not be that extreme. You may not be out here performing exorcisms to get out evil spirits and things like that. But that could be the kind of energy you are. You pick up on those things, and you take it upon yourself to protect people from them. Like you see them on a date with a guy. We'll go with that example. So we're just hopping right in. Welcome group two. If I didn't say that already, this is going to be about who. Yeah, I think I went through that already. So for example, you're out with your friends having having a good old time or whatever. You're just eating dinner or drinking coffee at a coffee shop, minding your business, and then you see this girl with a guy. Okay, and you're just getting weird vibes from him. Like, I don't trust him. She shouldn't be with him. Like the energies are just way, way, way off, and it's like so uncomfortable to the point where you can't ignore it. That is your sign now that you need to say something to this person. Whatever reaction you get, whatever you feel like you need to do in this moment, it's like reactive. I'm going to get up and do it. So as soon as you see this girl maybe get up and go to the bathroom, you're following behind her because you may also be a woman as well, and you're like, hey, I'm getting really bad vibes from that guy. Maybe you shouldn't do something, or maybe you should leave him alone. You're at least telling her. Now, whether she decides to listen to your advice or not, that's up to her. But you're at least getting up and saying, hey, I don't feel like that guy is good. He's giving bad vibes. Like, maybe you should leave. You know what I mean? If your intuition or your red flag monitor is going off as well, listen to your intuition and don't go home with him. Stay in open spots. Go as soon as you can. Like, just protect yourself. You know what I mean? If you need help, here's my number. Call me, and I'll if you want me to call you and say I have an emergency kind of thing. If you don't have a friend do it for you, that kind of thing. You're that kind of person who's going to protect them. Now, also, if you're at a bar and you're seeing a guy pour something in a woman's drink, you're going to get up and say, hey, he just poured something to drink, or you're going to go and whisper to the bartender to tell, not make a big scene kind of thing. I'm going to advise that you don't care to make a scene, but if you don't have to, you won't. Like if you were to walk up to the table like, hey girl, this is bad vibes, like I know this dude, he's no good, whether you knew him or not, you're telling her something to protect her in the long run. Especially if the feeling was so like you couldn't ignore it about the bad vibes you're getting from this person. You could have potentially saved her life or something. It could have been trafficking, it could have been he was unalive, or it could have been anything. You really just don't know. But the vibes you were getting was just ugh. You have to get up and say something or do something, and you did, and you're that guardian for people. You get those hits for a reason, because they probably can't, or their intuition is like, or just they're just scared to get up and say something or leave. Because a lot of women are scared to tell guys no or not give them their numbers. And it's very understandable because guys should be reacting crazily. They react real crazy these days if you were to rebuff them or something. So a lot of women are scared. They may feel the bad vibes from the person, but they're like, what can I do? I'm alone here. And that's where you come in, where it's like, hey, you need me to call you, or you need me to meet up, or you need me to pretend like I'm your friend. Like, I got you. Just tell me what to do. You know what I mean? So people feel very like safe around you physically, spiritually, I should say as well. This Palo Santo is definitely vibes for getting rid of negative, low vibrational energies, and you're gonna be like, don't even waste your time, girl, or don't even waste your time, guy. She just with you for your money or something. Like you're just very good at picking up on certain things when it comes to people. You're a good people reader and an energy reader as well. So that's something people admire about you, that you're always ready to hop into action. A lot of people see these things happening and see a woman that needs help or see a man that needs help, but they're not going to help them. They're not going to say anything. But you're the kind of person that will, and that is a very admirable trait. The way you always step up to help and protect people. Now, I'm feeling called to read it's like giving it, you're like a sentinel or a protector or something. That's like your lease in life, what you came here to do, to kind of eradicate those bad energies. Like, what am I getting? I'm getting a specific vibe, like a slayer. Yes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. How she was the one who was born to slay the vampires and the demons and all the icky, murky things that lurk in the nighttime. And she was able to get a sense, an intuitive hit, if you will, to tell that the person was a vampire, because you wouldn't have been able to tell until they turned in the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She wasn't a Regular people wouldn't have been able to tell it was a vampire until they turned into a vampire. But she like got those vibes from them real quickly. She was able to point them out the more she honed on her gifts. And that's the kind of person you're giving. You may not be out here slaying people for real, but you pick up on those energies for a reason, you know? Yeah, I was gonna get the book and read more about the Palo Santo. Yeah, 55, change. You're a change maker. You could help people change their lives or fix their life or cleanse their life. Okay, where are we looking for? We're looking for Palo Santo. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's a herb of the lunar nose. Yeah, that's destiny. Yeah, you came here with the destiny, and people admire that about you because you know your purpose and you know what you came here to do, and you're doing it while they're just sitting there waking up every day, scratching their stomach, not really knowing what to do or having a purpose at all. And the fact that you are just so diligent in your purpose is something that's admirable. You know, whether it's something as simple as you're a teacher. Well, teachers are not simple. I shouldn't have used that example. But if it's something as it is a very simple profession, you get up, you go to school, and come back home. It will seem simple to other people, just um as opposed to someone who's getting up every night and fighting crime, you know, or a police officer or something. You know, that's the kind of thing. Maybe you are supposed to be someone who feels guided towards those professions: firefighters, police officers, detectives, military, lawyers, judges, stuff like that. You're guided towards those things to help people get rid of like things that don't serve them anymore, whether it's legal or just physical. Now the Palo Santo, it's like gifts from past lives. See, activating dormant gifts, connecting to the ancestors, the guardian of the sacred trickster. Stop playing. What was I saying about Buffy having those gifts? It was passed down to her, having a legacy. Absolutely. And we have the astrological ruler is the South Node in Pluto. So the ritualistic burning of Palo Santo, which translates to sacred and holy wood, can be tracked back to the Incan Empire, where it was used in spiritual ceremonies to cleanse the body and space of malignant darkness. To this day, it is used ritualistically among many indigenous communities throughout Central and South America, particularly to cleanse bad energy, bad air, and the evil eye. Okay. Maldi ire translates to bad air, yet it is a spiritual illness believed to be a kind of cold nighttime air created by malignant spirits that enters the body, causes pain, discomfort, sickness, and many other kinds of imbalances. Now, also, you could pick up on maybe sickness in people as well. You're telling me, like, and people come to you. It's like you're giving shaman, now that we're reading about it, where they come to them and say, I've been feeling this kind of way, I've been feeling that kind of way. You're able to tell them somebody put a hex on you, somebody put a curse on you, like somebody send you evil eye. You'll be able to tell based on just sitting down with them, also pulling some cards, doing a reading, connecting to your ancestors, okay, and asking them to help you and guide you in the right direction to help this person. That's literally what you're here for, to guard and to protect. And I heard to vanquish. Ooh, okay. Um, we're gonna use guardian. We're gonna use stop it. Guardian. We read that. Thank you. Guidance. We have see. It's also giving like a guardian. You stand like I said, a sentinel in front of a building and stop all the negative energies from coming in. You know. So it's kind of like giving me. I've been like I said another reading. I forget, but I was watching Charmed or have been watching Charmed again, rewatching Charmed, and literally the main love interest for Macy in the first season is Galvin, and he is someone with Haitian and Dominican background, and his Yoruba. His grandma had a Yoruba ancestry, And basically him and Macy were not supposed to be together on the show because his grandma put a mark on him when he was a child to protect him from people of the night. Let me stop. I can't stand myself. I can't. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. Like evil energy. She put a mark on him to like repel essentially those things from him, or to repel him from them. So much to the fact that when Macy completely like overrid it or overrided the thing, and made him want to be with her. The first time they were gonna go on like their first official date, dude got hit by a car on the way to the date. Like that's how powerful that spell was that his grandma put on him and said, nah, none of that, none of that. But she wasn't evil in the show. She was just things happened when unforeseen circumstances when she was born made her have some evil in her. But it was like her mother's doing. She wasn't inherently evil. But the curse or the mark did not care. They said, you cannot be with that man, leave him alone. And they still started to be together. And like I said, that man was getting hit by cars. It's not funny, but it's just crazy, the protection. Okay, so basically, in the show, there's like a demon who tried to get into the house when Galvin was there, and basically that spell he has on him like repel the demon like crazy in the show, and to the point where they had to take it off of him. So it's an episode. Okay, I don't want to get into it, but basically the demon wasn't allowed to come to the house because he had that protection spell his grandma put on him, but she was when he was a baby. um yeah, that's what's coming through. That's the kind of stuff that you can be doing with the smoke. Hush. That's the kind of stuff that you could be doing or helping people with, like I said. But okay, now I'm gonna read. I'm sorry. Palo Santo is a protective wand that grants us the power of unlocking innate gifts that have laid dormant, inactive, or blocked. Palo Santo, like the fox, is here to assist you as a spirit guide who helps you to navigate the spirit world. The Seshuron foxes, native to South America, nestle among the desert forests of Palo Santo for shelter, living in symbiosis with their precious trees. Foxes are symbols of the afterlife, invisibility, and the sacred trickster. Palo Santo neutralizes the venom of dark tricksters and alchemizes its poison into gold, becoming the sacred trickster. Palo Santo is here to remind you to activate your dormant gifts. You are a guardian of the sacred that has walked many paths. Know that you neutralize no, know that you can neutralize the greatest of poisons and even outwit the smartest of tricksters. Look at you, like I said in the beginning, that whole you feel a negative energy, you telling that person to run. Okay, you need me to help you. You know what I mean? So it could be in the physical sense or in the spiritual sense. It doesn't really matter. For you guys, that some people admire about you how you're able to pick up on negative vibes right away. Like, no, that guy ain't good for you, sis or sir. Leave him alone. That girl is not good for you. She's in it for the wrong reasons. That kind of thing. You're just really good at that. Now we're going to get into more energies. I'm using the Emera's Love Oracle. Of course, it's not a love reading, but they have cards in here that give like characteristics as well. So we have home, property, real estate, residence. You make people feel safe. Like I said, you provide sanctuary in a kind of way as well. People know they can come to you for protection, like a house. Like if you're outside and it's cold, we use houses to protect us from the elements: rain, snow, sleet, hurricanes, things like that, storms. So people know that you can help them weather the storms in their life because you're that guardian angel, essentially. That's what people admire about you. You're their guardian angel. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Consider my friends you are to me, baby. So it's giving spiritual advisor. If I didn't say that already, but it's also people trust you more than they trust most people in their lives because you literally protect them and help them and guide them, that kind of thing, on this journey of life, on their spiritual journey, that kind of thing. They come to you and ask you, is this person good for me? Do they have the best intentions? Here we have friendship, exactly. So people admire about you is your ability to be a friend. You're a very, very, very good friend. You could be the mama bear friend, the papa bear friend, the very protective friend. And how the networking is, I'm hearing your services are definitely more so if you are someone who practices, spiritual, services. You're someone who gains business by word of mouth. You don't put yourself out there because when it comes to certain gifts, people see it as like taboo or see it as bad or see it as evil. So you don't advertise. All of your business comes like word of mouth. You don't need anybody in your business coming and lurking, asking questions, or people who don't believe in what you do. You either believe in what I can provide for you, and I don't have to prove myself because you heard what I did for your friend, or you heard what I did for that person that recommended you to me. Can I get one more card, please? What do people admire about group two? People can admire your home as well. You're a very good homemaker. You have a nice home, or you, like I said, make anyone feel at home in your energy and your presence. You can be friends with anyone as well. Like everyone feels like they've known you for a long time. It's the vibe that I'm getting here with you. Like you make fast friends, and that's hard for a lot of people. You can have like a lot of speaking points or things you talk about, or just based on their energy, you get like intuitive hits about what they love to talk about, and you're just able to quickly connect with them, make them feel at home, and make friends easily. And people admire that about you because it's not easy to make friends. So people love how everyone considers you their friend. You may not consider them your friend, they may be more acquaintances or clients. You know what I mean? Some of them can become friends, but more so than anything, people consider you like a part of their family, essentially. What? How a card stayed stuck? And we have dark male here. It's funny how I was talking about Galvin in the show. He was he didn't look like this, but he was a black man. Now the last card we have is Ice Queen. Wow. Okay. This is the energy that I was picking up on in the beginning of the reading, where I said you don't want to cause a scene, but I feel like you definitely will if you have to. You definitely will if you have to. Like if someone is going home with some guy, you're gonna sit there and say, "Girl, no, I'm not allowing you to leave with him," kind of thing. You're causing a whole scene. Oh my gosh, bro. I'm just getting like images or clips on my mind, and it's like hilarious. Like it's like someone, like for example, if you're a woman or something who's like, easily like, what is it? Easily manipulatable. Like I don't know. People can pick you up kind of thing. You're easy to be pulled and pushed and yanked in any direction because you're like just a woman, you're frail or whatever. Um People are like pulling you back and you're like fighting, and it's like a very funny picture in my mind, like a woman who's like short and petite or whatever. She's trying to fight some big old guy trying to take a girl home. She's like, "I'm not letting you take her home, no, I'm sorry." And you're sitting there fighting, and people are like, "What are you doing, girl? He's gonna eat you alive, he's gonna beat you up." And like, "I don't care, let him beat me up, he's not going home with her." And then people have to step in and help you, like that kind of thing. And it's not funny, but the way I saw it in my head, it's just hilarious. It's like a guy coming, like picking you up and moving you away, and you're still fighting to get towards something to help someone. And it's like sometimes you're not always going to be able to help, but when you can, you definitely are not going to back down. But we have divorcee, we have mother, we have discernment. Yeah, so you're the mother friend, the father friend, or whatever, the friend people come to for advice or for help because of your discernment. It's like giving a little bit of group one. So maybe some of you felt called to group one. And I love how we have a black cat. I'm pretty sure that's a black cat. Let me look. Yes, it is. We have a black cat in the window there. So it's like protection, like your house is always protected. And maybe there's a vibe of you not allowing just anyone into your house as well. And I'm getting a story that I was hearing on TikTok the other day about a guy who saw a woman who was talking about meeting a vampire in New Orleans. And he was basically saying how he felt called to share his story because the same experiences that she was talking about, there was like similarities to the feelings and things that happened in their story. So essentially, he met some guy long, 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 long time ago through the internet. Um, and the guy like basically invited him over to his house saying, "Hey, you want to come over? My parents are traveling, you want to come over and hang out, whatever." And he's like, "Sure." So the guy sent him like a map quest or whatever to show him how to get to the place. And when he got there, like it was like very, he said it felt like it was home, but it also didn't feel like it was home because it felt like it was empty, but it was also homey. So it was like drafty, it was airy, it was cold, ice queen energy, but it was also home, that kind of vibe. So it's kind of like if people come to your house and they don't have the best intentions, they're not going to feel at home and they're going to leave. They're not going to even feel called to come in because that's the kind of maybe spell or whatever you cast over your home. Now, for others of you, if people have the best intentions, they're able to find your home or be your home. Now, let me finish the story because that ties into this as well. So he went up to the guy's house. He went in there, and it was like very like they had a room dedicated to each important time in history. So one room was full of suits and armor. The other room was full of like antique stuff like that. And then he had to use the bathroom. And when he went to the bathroom, there was this book on the bathroom toilet or something where it was like a bunch of like basically ancestry or whatever, and it was about the Anunnaki or something. Yeah, I don't know what I mean. Those people that are like people consider them like aliens or whatever that came here and made humans or whatever. It's a bunch of different beliefs going around, honestly, but it's like Anunnaki or something like that. There was a book about it, and it was like a very weird book, and it was like, showing how humanity first happened and the evolution, like a family tree essentially. He went and asked to do it about it. He's like, oh yeah, that's like, the book of the Anunnaki or whatever he wanted to call it. I don't really remember how to pronounce it, and that kind of stuff. And then the crazy part about it is like when he left the house and went back home, he like he told his brother about the what happened. His brother was like, "Oh, I want to meet him. Can you take me there?" And dude was like, "Yeah, sure." And he had the map quest from the day before, or whatever he went, and drove back to the place. When he got back there, the house was gone. It was like just an empty plot of land. They could not find the house. And he's like, "How? When I followed this exact same paper here last time." Now, what somebody said in the comment, they was like, how the person put a spell over their house, and if you weren't invited over, you would not be able to find the house. And I'm like, interesting. The things that you find on TikTok, bro. And it's funny because I was like so against downloading TikTok when it first came about, and now I've learned so many things, y'all. Anyway, basically that's what the lady said. Like they have a spell on the house that you cannot find the house if you're not invited. So you were invited the first time you got there, so you were able to come. The second time around, you weren't. You're bringing somebody else that wasn't invited for real. You can't find the house. That's the thing that's coming through here. If you were to come to someone's house, you're not gonna be able to find your house because you have a spell on it for people who only have good intentions. That's where the story was going. Like if you were invited over, people can find you. If they weren't, they can't find you. That, like I said, word of mouth from people. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I don't know what reading this turned into, but that's what they admire about you. Like you can, like you're just like so protected up. Honestly, very protected. Like I said, like you would be a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or you would be the charmed one, or a charmed one if you were living in the charmed universe, or what other shows kind of use, for example, kind of like chosen one energy, a little bit. So now, next part of the reading, what are we going to get into next? We have those cards. We're going to get into the tarot cards. No, we're going to get into these. No, we're going to get into these cards. I'm sorry, guys. I am all over the place. I'm getting the vibe that you like disorient people. They're like a little like confused, you know? And that's what he was also saying in the story, how when he left, he couldn't remember exactly what the people looked like. He couldn't remember exactly what the guy told him, but he told him some things like when he left. It's like a glamour spell, essentially. People put a glamour spell or a forget, like, that kind of thing, where whatever they tell you, you're not going to remember. You don't remember how they look kind of vibe. Interesting. So yeah, you're just like a mystery and enigma, and people admire that about you, where you're just like so protected. Oh, you have Gemini. Okay, are you trying to fall out or not? That was crazy. See, crazy occurrences or happen around you, maybe as well. We have the Gemini. You're someone who's curious, communicative, versatile, flexible, variety seeking. You're very social as well. Um, you have collaborative, brilliant, perceptive. You see things exactly that other people can't see. You're connected. You're very vocal about things. Like I said, you have no problem causing a scene. You're going to say what you have to say and help someone that needs help. We have adaptive. We have street smart, big on the street smart. We have mobile, studious, superficial, restless, and fidgety. So I believe you don't trust a lot of people. It's something that's coming through as well. We have eighth house intimacy, but there's also like an intensity. With that friendship at home, people do feel like they've known you for a long time. It's about maybe when they first meet you. It's like you kind of, like I said, you know what to say or make them feel comfortable, or exactly what's bothering them or what's troubling them, that kind of thing. To the point where they're just like, wait, when they go back home and think about it, like, how did you know what to say? How did you even know that I was going through that kind of situation, that kind of thing, but you just do? Like eerie vibes. Like, wait. Like in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, whatever, it's cool. They're telling me something. Da, 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 da. And then when you go home and think about it, you're like, but how did she know this certain thing? I didn't tell her my name. How did she know my name? You know, that kind of thing. So you just, oh, we have Venus. Okay. People admire about you. With this intimacy in Venus, people fall in love with you very easily. They feel safe. They feel like you're a part of their family. They want to just be with you all the time. Is really the energy that I'm getting here from you guys. But eighth house, we have investment. So people could want to invest in you a lot. People see your power, they see your worth, they see your value. And they're just like, here, take my money. Tell me about this person or tell me about this situation. Like, do I need help? What happened? Like, if they just know you're legit, they're throwing money your way, investing in you. You know what I mean? We have intensity. You definitely have intensity. We have contracts. We have sex. We have erotic capital. We have secrets. So people admire you for your secrets. You don't tell people everything. You're not a tell-all book. You tell them they need to know. It's on a need to know basis, and that's it. If you don't need to know, you're not gonna know. The secrets you keep, the people admire about you, or how you stick your guns and say, my methods are my methods. I'm not walking around telling everybody how I do what I do. That's my business. Yeah, okay. We have mysteries, obsession. So yeah, so people fall in love with you very easily to the point of it maybe being obsession. So just be careful with that. We have inheritance, kundalini energy, stalking of the underworld. And this is like very big Scorpio energy and very big Pluto energy. So it's kind of like destructive, it's scary, it's intense, it's unpredictable, that kind of thing. You don't know what you're going to see. It's like a lot of tests, a lot of trials and tribulations people may have to face in order to be in your life or stay in your life, or, you know what I mean, prove themselves worthy to know your secrets or know you better, you know? It's like a series of tests. Interesting. Very. Kundalini energy is also a vibe of you awaken anyone who comes into your orbit, you know? People leave you more awakened, more knowledgeable, more open, more sensitive, more able to pick up on energies easier, you know? With this Venus here, we have beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving, sensuality, luxury, wealth. Yeah. So there's something here about you live your life in luxury. People admire that about you. Like beside the whole spiritual thing, people admire how you dress. You come up as someone who's well put together. You know what I mean? You have the nice house. You have the nice clothes, the nice fragrances, the nice makeup, the nice hair. Like you're someone who always has nails and toes done. You know what I mean? Always has the makeup, set to perfection kind of thing. You never have a hair out of place. You're always like maybe traveling somewhere on a vacation. And like I said, people want to know how you live the lifestyle you live, essentially, whether you are someone who is big into spirituality and that's a big part of how you make money or not. Whatever lifestyle you live, people want to know about it. Yeah. They want to know, so what do you do for work? Oh, none of your business. Like, none ya. Is that a business? What business is that? It means none of your business. And then people are like, oh, okay. But that makes them like even more curious. When you tell people no and turn people down, it makes them even more curious. When you tell a guy no and say, I don't want to be with you, it makes them want to pursue you even more. And that's what you don't like. That's what I was picking up on in the beginning of the reading. You're telling your friends or telling this girl, like, girl, he's not worth it. Leave him alone. Like, leave and that kind of thing, because you know those kinds of people. Like the more you say no, the more they want you. And they would like stick with you just to play you for jokes, and then when they get what they wanted by waiting it out, they're gonna leave. And you're telling them like, hey, that guy is like not worth it, that girl is not worth it, just leave them alone. And if they didn't listen, then that would happen. It's like kind of giving me the, what is it called, the plot from Think Like a Man, where all the ladies found Steve Harvey's book and they were playing the men and getting what they want. And the guys were like, how is this happening? How do they know what we're going to do before we do it? Like, how are they playing us so well? And then one of them like found the book and then took it to the brotherhood and took it to the rest of the guys and were showing them, this is how they've been getting us the whole time. And the guys use what they learned in the book, or what they know the women know, and they're using it against them. That's why you don't give the secrets where people can see it and it's tangible and other people can find it. You have to keep it locked in a vault, which is what you do. You tell women, you have like a little, it's like a like a secret society for real. Like you bring them into your home and say, hey, what is said here cannot be taken nowhere else. And you wouldn't even be able to say if you wanted to. You know what it's giving me as well? Y'all know new moon. when Jacob just found out he was a wolf, and Paul forced his will as the alpha onto everyone in the pack, saying, "You cannot tell people you're a wolf. You can't." And Jacob was like, I can't. And the funny thing is, you already know, but I just can't say it because I'm under the instruction of my alpha in the group. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So you tell people to come over. Hey, I have some secrets to tell y'all. And you tell them that when they leave, they forget what you said, but their body didn't. And they're doing what you're saying, but they're not able to tell somebody about. This is crazy energy, honestly, guys. Like, I need some confirmation from my group choose in the comments, please. But that's the vibe that's coming through. I mean, Jacob was like, and you know what I mean? But I just can't tell you. And there was also this clip that I was seeing on TikTok, I believe, where it's Keke Palmer and Yvette Nicole Brown on Password on the Jimmy Kimmel Fallon show, where they're playing a game of Password, and you only have one chance, one word to tell them what the password is. And Kiki's sitting there saying Rose, and giving her all the cues, giving her all the body language and everything. And Yvette Nicole Brown's like, I don't know. And he's like, you know, like, just look at me, Rose. And the way she was saying it and everything. And then she's like, I'm going to get it wrong. I'm scared I'm going to get it wrong. She's like, you can't. What is it? And then when Yvette Nicole Brown guessed, she's like, Titanic. And she's like, yes. And she knew the password just based on that one word and how she was telling it to her. But Kiki literally could not tell her what it was. She could only give her like a little password or a little hint, like Rose. You know what I mean? And Nicole Brown's like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I'm scared I'm going to disappoint you. And she's like, no, you know what it is. And then she ended up saying Titanic, and that was the right answer. Like, you can't say it. The person can't say it, but they know the answer, you know? Like autopilot, essentially, that kind of thing. And like I said, I don't know what kind of reading this turned into, but I guess that's what people admire about you as well. You give them the secret to do certain things, and they're not able to really say it, but they're able to implement it in their life, you know? That's how you like kind of protect your brand, essentially. Like, I can give it to you, pay me for the information, but you can't tell the people, you know? You come to me in the way, the only way, it's like a secret, like I said, a secret society. The only way you can learn about it is by word of mouth. Someone comes and taps you, someone comes and gives you a paper, but otherwise no one else knows about it unless only the people that are in it, you know? And it's giving me that show, like, I think it was called like Society or something on Netflix. I never finished it because it got crazy, but it was an okay show. It was a kind of like a supernatural show with wolves. So it's funny how I was talking about Jacob and them with wolves. Like, you know, you're in the pack and you can't tell people you're wolves. You're a vampire, but you can't tell people you're a vampire. That you met the vampire. That, like I was talking about the story earlier. Like, you know what happened. You remember bits and pieces, but the most important parts you really can't remember. You know, like what they looked like, where she dropped the lady off, where the house was when they came back, that kind of thing. Very weird, mysterious energy with y'all. I'm like, excuse me. So maybe some of you can belong to some secret societies and you're not able to tell anyone. Okay, boom. Now we have sensuality, luxury, wealth. Maybe you're a part of the, oh, you know what it's also giving me? I can't. There's like certain like clubs that you can't join unless like it's like also maybe sororities and stuff like that, you know, where you can only when you rush, you have to go through all these tests and they do this and do that and vet you really well before they say, yeah, now you can be a sister, now you can be a brother, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But also certain clubs, like for rich people, essentially, not every rich person is a part of a certain club, but some of them are, and you wouldn't know that they're all connected because they can't say. Literally, it's like a secret. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm getting for you guys with this whole beauty, harmony, romance, luxury, charm, receiving. You're very good at having a very big lifestyle, and people are like, how do you do that? How do you live like that? How do you have certain things? How do you have the big fancy house? Like, how? Tell me your secrets. Just if I told you, I would have to kill you. And they're like, yeah, laughing, and you're serious because you really can't. It's like I said, like the Illuminati, what people believe it is, and stuff like that. Those secret clubs that everybody can't get in. You have adoration, attraction, indulgence, taste, and lifestyle. So people love your taste in music, in houses, in clothes, all that kind of stuff, in friends. You can have like a very good core group of friends, and everybody wants to be a part of your friend group, but obviously they can't because you don't accept as anybody into your inner circle. People could love your food as well. They admire how you cook if you're a part of, like, if you're a chef or something. But you just have this magnetism about you. You have this diplomacy. The way she's like an ice queen. She's walking, minding her business, living her life. The way everybody called Elsa the ice queen because she didn't really. She just stayed in her room, but like people thought it was because she thought they were beneath her, but it was because she was hiding her powers and she couldn't say. Her parents said, "Don't tell anyone." Wow, exactly. Okay, so that just keeps coming through. Honestly, okay. So we're gonna get more cards. Honest, I'm sorry, I keep sidetracking. We're gonna get some tarot cards now. We're gonna get into tarot. What do people admire about you? They admire your friendship. They admire your home. They admire your frosty exterior. Sometimes they admire your social abilities. Okay, you're able to connect with anyone. They admire your luxurious lifestyle. They admire the intimacy they have between you for the people you have been intimate with. They admire that about you. So you may have it. You know how to put it down. And I'm hearing that song. I'm gonna put it down. You're gonna fall in love. I'm gonna put it down. You're gonna fall in love. If you put it down right, that's the way I want it. Play your cards right, maybe we can fall in love. Put It Down by Brandy and Chris Brown. So you know how to put it down. See, and that ice cream is like you don't allow anyone to get close to you. You don't allow anyone to just date you, anyone to get into your inner circle. But when they do, child, we have this intimacy, this intense, obsessive energy, and this Venus beauty lifestyle. They become obsessed with you. Yeah. So be careful out there, guys. Group 2. Here we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. I'm not really taking Eight of Wands. I'm not taking reverse, I mean reversals in this deck or in this reading. So we have Eight of Wands. How you make things happen. You're very fast. I'm hearing that you already know certain things. By the time people come and bring information to you, just go, I know. You know, you could probably have like people out there who not do your bidding. Let me stop. Well, maybe you have people out there who pick up on information and bring it back to you before everyone else can. Or you're just like I said, you're always tuned in. You just know things already anyway. We have the Ten of Wands. You have a lot of Wands energy coming through, so you have strength. Ten of Wands, strong. You could bear a lot of things. Like you're not someone who gives up very easily, or you crack under the weight of certain things. You can hold a lot on your back. Like I said, if a big man coming in, for those of you, whether you're a man yourself or a woman, and you have someone like 10 times your size, it's like David and Goliath. How literally people are like, David ain't gonna win against a giant Goliath, and that man did, and did, okay, and did. Three of Pentacles worked well. Look at how it's giving cult energy. Look, only these two people are allowed to be there, and we have the statue that they're worshiping. Y'all in a cult? Let me mind my business. Y'all try to, I didn't ask. Y'all are in some kind of society or something that everybody can't get into. Whether it's everybody can't get rich, everybody can't be this beautiful, everybody can't be a model, or like something like that. Everybody can't be a famous singer. There's just something about the quality of who you are or the life you live that people are just like, how and how can I live it? It's like, I can't tell you what ain't my business. Wow, this one to follow, that was crazy. And then we have Four of Wands. So yeah, there's something here about your success. Eight of Wands, how things happen very fast. You make things happen for people. Eight of Wands is also like very fast and swift. Justice. That's not the word I wanted to use, but that's the word that came through. Very quick, swift, and fast karma is what I'm getting. So someone does anything bad to you, they get swift and fast consequences, karma, something. It happens like very fast. Almost like if someone tried to tell you a secret, they fall asleep or they pass out or something like that intense, and it might just be that intense. Or they just can't get the words past their lips. Okay, Page of Pentacles. This started giving me loyalty. Someone who's putting in the work to help people become the best version of themselves. You know what I mean? People immediately feel like that you're a safe harbor. You know what I mean? You're the ship, and you're the harbor for the ship in a storm. And that's literally what I was saying with the home. How homes protect you from disasters and things like that. Four of Wands is celebration. So people do celebrate you for what you do for them, what you provide for them. And that's what they admire you for, how you help them. Okay, fix that. We have King of Cups. Your ability to stay aloof. like to be invested but not invested. Like, how do I explain that? Like someone who is, I'm giving the example of Queen Charlotte from the first Bridget, no, from Queen Charlotte the show, where she was literally invested in the situation with her son because she gave birth to him. That's her child, and he is mourning the loss of his daughter or the child that he had with his wife, and she just literally patting him on the back, sorrows, sorrows, and prayers, and we're just like, huh? Like, you're his whole mother. You're supposed to be comforting him a little better than that. But she was also supposed to be the queen and not supposed to show any weakness. So all she could do was like pat him on the back and say sorrow, sorrow's prayers. And I think that led to a lot of resentment from her kids in that show. So maybe people also resent you as much as they admire you as well. Because them kids was like, you had all 12 of us, or however many kids her and King George had. Um, and then when your kids are dealing with certain things, she wasn't a very present mother. They didn't really know her. All they could do was lean on each other, you know? So she basically made her own little cult with all them kids. You know what I mean? And the only people that can confide in their problems with that would understand were the siblings amongst each other. You can't go and complain to the people who your mother ruled over and say, "Oh, she's a horrible mother." They wouldn't be able to do that, but they could, commiserate against them amongst each other, amongst themselves. So basically, all the siblings were kind of gathered in the room, and he's crying over his baby. It was a baby child, just passed, and she's like just patting him on the back, sorrow, sorrow's prayer. So people are like, how can you seem like you're there for us, but you're really not? With the Ice Queen demeanor and the King of Cups, the aloof, present but not really here, that kind of thing vibe. People admire you for that because it's not easy for everyone to do that. It probably isn't easy for you, but some things is like saying you have to do what you have to do. It's kind of like how people say when you have like dangerous job or dangerous a career, it's best for you to not have like love or have family or get close to people, because then those people can become your weaknesses or be targeted by maybe negative energy trying to come against you thing. Like, so in the movies or in the shows, like I was mentioning earlier, Buffy or Charmed, where they, anytime they had a love interest, something bad kept going wrong, or it's kind of like they weren't built or able to have love because it was always something. I feel like in season something, Phoebe in the original met Cole, and he ended up being a freaking, the next source. And she fell in love with a demon child and had a baby with him and all that kind of stuff. And it's like you don't even know who is really real anymore. So you gotta just stay like, everybody leave me alone. You know? And then for others of them, we had what's his name? I think Prue in season one, her guy, I forgot his name, but he was a police officer and he ended up, I think something happened to him, or was something happened to her. So it's kind of like the profession you have or whatever you do is very dangerous, okay? And it's like best for you to not get too close to people, or it's like everyone or whatever. But there are some times you let people get close, and those are the people that are your family, the people who are able to find your house, that kind of thing. And it's like your inner circle, which is why everybody wants to be a part of it, but they just really can't. And maybe you're doing it for their own protection, essentially. And people admire you for the sacrifices you make to keep people in your life safe, or to keep yourself protected and safe, that kind of thing. And you have to keep yourself protected and safe in order to help other people as well, that kind of thing. Four of Wands is definitely a vibe of celebrating you celebrating others. You are the master of your emotional realm, so you don't show your emotions, will not show on your face. And that's what the Ice Queen is saying as well. You carry a lot of burdens. That's what I was saying. People admire you for all the burdens you're able to carry. And I do think that involves you not being able to get close to people because you're a professional, you're scared that something will happen, that kind of thing. Three of Pentacles, the only kind of maybe partnerships to allow are business partnerships. I'm not getting like, there's the only cups we have here is the most closed off person, or the person who may seem the most aloof and closed off person in the deck, which is the King of Cups. Like, not a Knight of Cups, not a Queen of Cups, which is she's nurturing and more soft. No, we have the King of Cups, who's like, I'm not gonna let anybody get close to me, even though they mean the most to me. Because every time I open up, it hurts. So I'm never gonna get that close to you, even though I mean the most to you, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. Wow. Because every time you hurt me, the least that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the least I love you. Baby, you don't stand a chance. Something like that. I'm way too good at goodbyes. Too good at goodbyes by Sam Smith really just came through. That was like crazy. Yeah. He's like, I'm so used to being hurt that I don't allow people to get close to me because I know eventually I'm going to get hurt. So the more I keep you away from me, the easier it's going to be for me to leave you in the end. I'm just the way I've been hurt so many times, betrayed, screwed over. I'm so good at goodbyes, and that could be something people admire about you as well. The way you're good at goodbyes, how you so easily forget people, or how easily you may move on from relationships as well. Like, I'm trying to make this less like woo woo and make it more like, maybe realistic for people who are watching who are not in the woo woo community. So your lifestyle, your home, the way you're a good friend, like how you're able to, put on that ice exterior and not let people see how things affect you. You're able to carry so much burdens. How you're able to make a lot of things happen. Maybe you're very good. Like I'm hearing you're fast, you're speedy, whatever you're doing, whether it's work or physical, what is it called, endeavors. We have Three of Pentacles. People love your work ethic as well. The Page of Pentacles, they love your loyalty and how you're always starting something. Maybe you have three businesses and you started from one, and they've seen you kind of grow and build upon those. Like it's like franchise essentially. People admire that about you as well. King of Cups, how you're always in control of your emotions and the emotional realm. How you're very sensitive and pick up on a lot of things. Very intuitive as well. And then Four of Wands, how you celebrate others and you have like a lot of milestones. You celebrate a lot of things to celebrate. Thank you. Like I'm kind of like, what am I saying? Anyway, now I'm gonna pull some two cards from here really quickly before I end the reading. I've probably been talking forever. So can I get two cards, please? What do people admire about my group? Choose. What do people admire about my group? Choose. So I'm never gonna get that close to you, even when I mean the most to you. In case you go and leave me in the dirt. 'Cause every time you hurt me, the least that I cry, moon. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. And every time you walk out, the least I love you. Baby, you don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. I'm way too good at goodbye. I'm way too good at goodbye. I'm done. Okay. We have moon, intuition, subconscious, fantasy, romance, psyche coming through again. Romance is coming through again. People admire your, I don't know, how you keep those urges hidden. So maybe you're someone who's easily able to, not sleep around with people or not, have relationships with everyone or not hop into situations with certain people. And they're kind of like, how do you control those urges? How do you control that? Like, how are you able to stay single for so long and not experience any romance or things like that? And it's just kind of like, I don't know. I've just become used to it. You have psyche, you have affection, recognition, just the way you think, the way you operate. That's something that's very powerful for people, what they admire about you as well. Recognition, invitation, sensuality, artistic, divine, feminine. So yeah, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you always are well put together, that kind of thing is coming through as well. And people are like, how? But there is something here like intuition and subconscious with the King of Cups coming through. Your affection, the way, like I said, you celebrate people. Like I said, you're not fully an ice queen, but you're an ice queen to certain people when you have to be. Otherwise, you're very warm, you're very talkative, very social. You want to help people, but there are certain things in your life that you keep just to you, or just keep just for your partner, or just for your friends, just for the people that really know you. That's what people admire about you. You don't be giving away your energy or your feminine wiles or your love or everything for free. People have to earn it first. Essentially, is what's coming through. Now we have the tracks. We have steady forward movement, one way to go the distance, direct route, autopilot, traveling. I think I can, on track and focal point. That's the Eight of Wands energy. How you're always on the fast track. You're always on track to achieve your goals. You're always in it to win it. You're never distracted or sidetracked. You're always just moving forward, even with all these obstacles and all these wands on your back. You're just going, going, going. You're not letting anything stop you or deter you. And you have like a direct route to your goals. There's nothing in your way. There's no obstacles. There's no blockages. That's that kind of thing that comes through. That could be that little more magical side coming through, where it's like things aren't able to come against you because you're protected against something. You could also be someone who's always traveling with this fancy Venus energy coming through. You're always going somewhere. Like I said, people, the lifestyle you live, everyone wants to know about it and how you do it. And you're just like, mind your business. But this whole this track here is giving Thomas a train. I think it's Thomas anyway, where it's like, I think I can, and then he goes from saying I think I can to I know I can. But yeah, something about your goals. You have like a very one track mind. definitely coming through as well. And people admire you for that as well. Yeah, that curious, communicative, versatile, flexible, variety seeking. You don't like to live one way or do one thing. You're very, malleable, flexible, that kind of thing. Always transforming to with the butterfly coming through. Then also very secretive and mysterious as well. You don't let just everybody in, which I think I said already. Then also very artistically inclined as well. You could be someone who's very good at what they do. Like I said, you could be someone who's a singer and you're making it big on doing that, and everybody wants to know how, and you're just like, mind your business. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Okay. Or you're like a beauty influencer, something along those lines are coming through. The lifestyle you live influence how people see you and what they admire about you. Three is giving a little Empress energy, so it's like kind of like you have everything that everyone could ever need. What someone needs, what anyone needs, you have. It's like Dora's backpack and Dora the Explorer. Whatever is so convenient, how whatever she needed in the show, he had to give her. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. I was talking y'all ear off in this group more specifically. Let me see how long it came out to. Oh Lord, wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely done. I hope that you resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me. It's my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you watch this reading. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Comfrey Completion 32, then you are most definitely in the right place. Now, immediately before I forget, this card is Saturn, and here we have the Ram. So it could be something here about Capricorn coming through for you guys. Um, and then it's the Ram, but why does it have like a sea tail? I'll read more about it in the book, but there's like it's like a mermaid. Is that the Capricorn? Is it supposed to be like a water ram or something? Like a mermaid? Like maybe you are giving like off like very two distinct energies. Because it's just Saturn card here. It's not another planet. But that mermaid tail would give me more like Pisces energy than anything else, like Neptune. So maybe some of you have like very Neptunian and Saturnian placements or like energy. Yeah. But this reading is going to be about what do people admire most about you, or just what do they admire about you, I would say. I was supposed to do another reading, or I had two other ideas, but when I was cleansing the energy and asking for guidance for reading, what do they admire most about you came through. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, but comfrey, I don't know anything about that. A lot of the herbs in this deck, I know some of them, but this one I have no idea. So I'm definitely going to read from the book about comfrey. So what do they admire most about you? Let me just look at the card for a little bit, honestly. We have something here about in the clouds. I'm hearing salvation as well. So maybe people consider you their salvation. And I also, if you can see, the goat has like a ring of light around its head. So you could be someone who's very awakened, someone who's very intelligent, someone whose third eye chakra is very awakened, or their crown chakra is very active, essentially. So you're someone who's always receiving downloads, you're always receiving messages from spirit is the vibe that's coming through, which would make sense if you have Neptune coming through. And that's a very Piscean energy, which is like you see things that people don't see, the things that are hidden, people try to keep hidden. Like you're very good at uncovering secrets. It's giving me super sleuth. So you're the friend or the woman we have to call them wherever we need to find out anything, we're going to find out anything. We're able to do a deep dive into anything and find something. If you feel like your man is cheating, you're going to find proof of that he's cheating. You think he's cheating with someone, you're going to find out who he's cheating with. It's like giving me, what is it called? Like I said, just stalking, not like in a way where it's like bad, because it has something to do with you or a friend or someone who means something to you. Because Capricorns aren't going to extend themselves physically, emotionally, mentally at all for people they don't really care about. So I do feel like you are willing to do anything for the people that matter to you. Is the vibe that's coming through. And then Saturn is also like a very strict energy, so you don't like play about the people you care about as well. You know, like I said, which is why you're kind of like a little bit of a salvation when your friends are lost. And then here we have like a arrow pointing in all directions, so it's giving like north, south, east, and west. You're someone who's never lost. You always know your way. Whether it be, like I said, those downloads you get in your third eye chakra, your crown chakra, no matter what it may be, you just always know where to go. Like if you got your lost with friends, or you're the kind of friend that your friends would want to get lost with, or lost, like in a, maybe in like an apocalypse, if they were in a zombie apocalypse, they would want you by their side because they know they're going to survive with you. Or if there's like a lost on a deserted island, you're going to be the friendly one there with you because you're always going to know what to do. You're just going to know. You don't know how you know. You're just going to know. Yeah, something along those lines is coming through. Salvation, with the way this is like giving like the clouds and the light in the background. And I think completion also really, ties into that as well. But I think comfrey is like giving this flower here. So maybe you're pretty like a flower, but then you're also fierce and mean. It's kind of like the thing that I'm getting with this half and half vibe. You have half ram, and ram are very, vicious. They're gonna butt heads with you. They're very competitive. Because it's giving me, there's a five of wands in some deck that I have where it's two rams like butting heads, so you're someone who's very stubborn. You're aware of the highway, but it's also because you know what's best. You know what I mean? That song from Tango that's coming through a little bit, Mother Knows Best, even though she didn't know best in that song, but there could be a vibe of you knowing best all the time. We also have Capricorn energy, which is Saturn energy, is also Aquarian. Okay, so maybe that's what this is. The half, it's also the water bearer, maybe, because Aquarius is the water bearer, and I think it's usually like a human, but mermaids go in the water. Yes, they do. So it could be that coming through as well. Then we have a crystal over here as well, and it's like giving clear quartz. So like you always see things with clarity, the utmost clarity. Okay, but yeah, there's something very. Oh, I was saying that Capricorn is the father of the zodiac, so you're always taking care of people. People know they come to you and they need that structure. They need to be held accountable. They need that advice that they know that the advice they need to hear, not the advice they want to hear. If you want to learn how to drive, things are like mechanical and technical, you go to the father. He teaches you how to drive. He teaches you how to accept certain things from people, how to live your life, the morals, that kind of thing. The backbone is what the father represents in the family household, the backbone. And the mother is the more soft, the nurturing. She gives you the emotional things you need. But your father gives you the structure, how to pay bills, how to do this, how to do that, how to, operate in the world. So that could be the kind of thing you give your people. Completion. They feel like complete around you. Like you don't judge them, you accept them as they are. But I do want to know about comfrey, so let's get into it. It's going to be an herb of Saturn, so it's 94. Okay, 94. The upright is achievement, completion of a cycle, success, closure, completion of a long journey, wholeness, and mending. So, like I said, if they're hurt or in pain or need some kind of thing, they're going to come to you and you're going to help them get it together. Um, if they're calling you with a problem, like, hey, I'm on a date with this dude and I don't know what to do, he's getting a little weird. Like, I got you. I'm going to call you in a few seconds and tell him you have to go because your friend needs help, that kind of thing. Or, where are you? I'm going to come get you. The way your father would be the one you would call if you're in a bind. Like, hey, I need help. Come get me. You know what I mean? You need like that physical action, not the emotions, not the, oh, well, maybe you should look at it from this way. No, you need to get things done. You're the one people are calling. Okay. Um, we have long journey, the completion of a long journey. So I said, whenever someone needs to get something done, they know you're going to be the one to get it done. So they want to go with you. In sports, they want to be on your team. If you're the captain, they want to be with you. You know what I mean? Because they trust in you to always get something done. That's success as well. People admire your success, what you accomplished in your life, the things you've achieved for yourself. So now we're going to read the guidance part from this book, and then that's it. We have comfrey represents wholeness, completion, and closure of a great cycle. The wreath symbolizes a cycle containing the energy of the past, present, and the future, hovering over the clouds to note how the foundation of all the cycles are grounded in mystery. Comfrey majestically grows in the center, representing the axis mundi, the sacred heart, the sacred will that pulses the great mystery. Comfrey has appeared today to signal that a great cycle is nearing completion. Stay aligned as you continue to prune and heal the garden of the self. Yeah, when people just stay aligned, on track, held accountable, they're coming to you. That's what they admire about you. You do that for yourself, you do it for others. Now, look closely into repeated patterns, persons, or situations that keep showing up in your life. Draw upon Comfrey's power to mend and find wholeness in lessons and patterns that need closure. So you're definitely the friend that's like, I'm hearing psychoanalyzing all your other friends, or kind of because you've been around them the most and you know them very well, you're telling them the things that they have. Like, for example, girl, if you didn't know, you have some daddy issues, just in case you want to know. Or, girl, you have a little bit of codependency going on here. Like, you rely too heavily on your partner, this and that, da 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 da. Oh, girls, we're still friends, huh? You got a boyfriend, you got a man, and ditch the rest of us, and you're telling people what they need to hear. You know what I mean? And that's been coming through in all three groups. So we love the truth tellingness of my collective. That's great energy. Keep it up, keep it up. But you're the one that's like definitely holding them accountable and like telling it like it is, even if it is hurting their feelings. The other people's like, I don't want to be mean. I'm just telling you the truth. You're just like, no, I'm gonna be mean, because Saturn is like a very mean, harsh climate. It would be like the tundra, the frozen tundra. And I think, yeah, Saturn is cold because the rings that surround Saturn are ice rings. So yeah, you're very cold and calculated in your approach to doing certain things. So like I said, if someone wants to get things done, they know that you're the one they want on their team because they're going to get it done. You're the leader they want to be leading the charge. And yeah, Saturn is just the example, what people live up to. So you set the example that a lot of your friends and people want to around that see you, that are a part of your life, want to live up to. You set the standard. Because I'm thinking of Capricorn midheaven as how they're the sage. They are the one who is supposed to tell people, not tell people, or show people. They're supposed to be the example of how people live their life. You know. So maybe some of you could have Capricorn midheaven. And also, it's like, what you came here to do, and you're not stopping and letting anyone stop you from doing that. So you're very purpose based. So it was 94, wasn't it? Okay, so I want to read more about comfrey, guys. I don't know if someone wants to know more about it. I've never really heard of it, so I'm definitely curious. We have comfrey, also known as bone set or knit bone, has been cultivated. What was I saying about backbone? Okay, so maybe that's why I felt called to read it. Has been cultivated for its healing properties since 400 BCE. It was used by the ancient Greeks, Romans, Celts, and many more to heal broken bones, bind wounds, and stop heavy bleeding. So you are also the friend that people are coming to when they need to keep their backbone up. Like, when, like, I don't want to text him. Like, girl, what do I do? You're the one that's saying, girl, don't text him. Don't text that man. They know to come to you when they're feeling weak, and they're gonna restore and instill that backbone in them. Symphytum comes from the Greek word sympho, meaning to grow together, and phyton means plant. Comfrey comes from the Latin confirmare, which also means to grow together. So people, yeah, they see you as a person they want to grow with, always have a part of their life, that kind of thing. So the Greek historian Herodotus recommended comfrey to stop severe bleeding internally and externally. Later Greeks used it to heal lung problems. So when people are falling apart, you're who they're coming to keep them together and keep them going. That's why people admire you. Maybe, by the way, for the way you hold it all together, so they know you're going to be able to hold them together as well. You keep them from falling apart. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some cards from Mero's Love Oracle, because I know we're not talking about love, but we're talking about, this gives like characteristics and stuff like that. So what do people admire most about my group threes, please? What do they admire most about my group threes, please? What do they admire most about my group threes? Okay. We have mature man. What the heck was I saying about father? So maybe you are someone who is a father friend. I was talking about in another group how they were the mother friend. You're definitely the father friend. Like I said, the father is holding you accountable. They are more so the I wanted to say totalitarian. Like the person who's literally instructing the rules and saying, hey, you have to do this and do that, and instilling values in the kids, that kind of thing. So each energy has their part to play. The mother is supposed to take care of, nurture, make them feel safe and comforted emotionally. The father is supposed to give structure, rules, discipline, that kind of thing. So that's definitely what the mature man is coming through as. You don't have to be a mature man, as I'm sure most of you are not, okay? But it's giving that maturity, that Saturn energy. You are the mature friend, the one who is always has that, like I said, wisdom to give people. Like, what do I do in the situation? You're like, okay, calm down. Okay, what happened? Tell me what happened. okay, we can fix this, it's fine, we're gonna do this and that. Like you're calming them down a little bit, Wow, we have the union. And you know what I was going to say and I forgot, and I'm glad this card came out to remind me that you complete a lot of people, and people may fall in love with you very easily because they see you as someone who's emotionally mature. It's like marriage material. People admire that marriage material in you, that ambition in you, that I'm gonna set goals and reach every goal that I set for myself, that kind of thing. And I'm gonna keep everyone that wants to come along this road or this journey with me in line. Like the bless you. It's literally the totalitarian, but I'm getting like military is giving commander, sergeant, that kind of thing. The corporal. You're that person. But you need to have serious relationship, marriage, partnership. So people do admire that you are only in it for serious relationships. You are someone who's mature, looking for someone else mature because you want to build a family, you want to build a foundation. I'm here, you want to build a legacy, that kind of thing, generational wealth, that kind of stuff. You're not here playing it. You're not with childish games. You're not playing the fool. Nobody's saying you're not funny, you're not laid back or relaxed, but people admire that strong backbone you have in you to not fold or to not give in to other people's maybe like advances that are not what you want, because it's easy to want love and to like just I'll just be with this person just because I want to be in love or just I want to be in a relationship. No, you're someone who's waiting it out no matter how long you have to wait. Because you're looking for that marriage. So you're marriage material essentially with this completion here. You're someone's other half, most people's other half. Like I feel like most people will look at you and see you and be like, oh yeah, I would spend forever with them happily, no matter what background they came from, as long as they spend some time with you and like learn about. So people can just sit there and describe you as a person. Nobody will ever see you. They don't. Your looks have no part in it. They're just saying what you've done, what you've accomplished, how you act, how you operate in the world. How you carry yourself. And then, like everybody will be like, yeah, that's the partner that I want. Like that's my ideal partner, and that's you. But them having without them having to see you or anything. Okay, so that's what people admire about you. That you're marriage material, wifey material. Okay, now we have karma coming through. Interessante. We have karma, toxic story, new opportunities. So karma is literally what Saturn is known for. And then we have the father card coming out with the mature man. And then we have the union, which is, marriage and serious relationships. You could be someone who's also very serious, or you're inclined to be that way, more stern, like I said, tactical, taciturn kind of thing, mercurial, hard to figure out. And we have, because maybe you've been through a lot and you, like I said, you have that experience, that wisdom of someone who's been around the block a few times to know how to act in certain situations. You're always manifesting new opportunities for yourself and opening doors for you and other people. So you're giving me like a trailblazer, someone who is doing things differently and getting what they want, and then you're blazing that path for other people to come behind you and do the same thing. So an inspiration essentially. You may have a toxic story, or there's a toxic story from your past that you use to keep fueling you to keep going, and that's like your mission statement. Because I went through this, I'm going to make sure nobody else ever has to, or I'm everyone learns from their mistakes, that kind of thing. That's the vibe that I'm getting from you. Making sure we're still recording. Here we have blonde female, and I love that this came out. We have blonde female, lighter hair, laid back. That's what I was saying. I'm like, you're not someone who's not lighthearted. You're not someone who's not chill or da da da. But it's like mostly when it comes to the things that like you believe in, what people admire about you. Essentially, it's how you're able to be this mature person, but then you're also laid back and chill. You make people feel comfortable. Maybe you're someone who is all these things, but you look feminine. Is the vibe that I'm getting for you guys. You look innocent, that kind of thing. This whole heaven thing, you look maybe very angelic or innocent, and that's what people admire about you as well. Because what I'm seeing with this card here is the pigtails, and how people associate pigtails with innocent children, little girls, kind of thing. And most women, when you wear it, it's like embody that more innocent kind of energy, girlish kind of thing. So you could be someone who looks girlish, but you have that stern, mature energy, and people admire that. How you can kind of like not let people treating you like a child or looking down on you, let that stop you from being who you are, essentially. So what else do we want to get into? We're gonna pull some cards from this deck here. It's like how people are seeing blondes as people who are ditzy and bimbos and not supposed to have any thoughts, and they're not supposed to be the smartest person because blondes have more fun, kind of thing. And you're someone who had to deal with that growing up, being a blonde who was someone who was very smart, someone who was very intelligent, someone who wanted to be taken seriously, but you couldn't or wouldn't because people see blondes and automatically think, oh, bimbo, or they're adultish, or that kind of thing, and you're fighting against that every day. So that's the kind of energy that's coming through. Or, for example, if you're a black woman, people consider you aggressive and you're fighting against it every day because you're someone who isn't. And even if you are, that's not just a strictly black woman trait. Or how people say, oh, Latina people are spicy. They're spicy. And you know what I mean? I want somebody who's spicy. Like, this stereotype, essentially, that's been placed on you, whether you're a man or a woman, is something that you have to fight against every day because there's a stigma there. And you don't let it stop you or hold you back. So what do people admire about my group threes, please? Saturn wisdom. Wow, this is just the most Saturn reading I've ever had in my life. Saturn is the planet of karma. So y'all are just what? Y'all are no nonsense. Y'all don't play games. I'm hearing y'all don't play the ass, y'all don't play the fool. We have wood, which is like, and I think Saturn or Capricorn rules the bones. It rules the bones in the body. It's like I said, you're someone who's very strong, very firm. You know what I mean? But also, it's something you have to keep nurturing in order to get to keep working. That's why the more we get older, the more our body breaks down because our bones are getting weaker. It's something you have to keep nourishing and working and nourishing. If I didn't say that already. Something you have to constantly keep working at. In order to stay healthy, you have to keep eating healthy. In order for your bones to stay strong, you have to continue giving it things that's going to make it strong. So it's like, yeah, you are this person, but you still do things to keep that, not persona, but keep your body good. For those of you who are in fitness, you're someone who is into fitness, and in order to keep your body good, you have to keep eating healthy and keep working out. You can't just do it whenever you want and expect to be healthy. It's a long-term process. So the way you're able to just commit yourself to things that it's going to be forever, so like your routines, that kind of thing, could be important as well. How you commit yourself to something and you stay committed to it. And they're like, oh, if you can do that with that, then of course you make a perfect partner because you're going to commit yourself to me and you're never going to give up. And you're going to keep giving to me in the relationship. That kind of thing. Now we have eighth house energy coming through. We have investments. We have intensity. I mean, this is a very intense pile. And I thought group two was intense. You guys are intense in a completely different way. We have intensity, contracts. We have sex, erotic capital, secrets, mysteries, obsessions, inheritance, kundalini energy, stalking, and the underworld. And it's hilarious that I was talking about you're the super sleuth online, finding out things about people. If your friend says, oh my gosh, Christopher is cheating on me and I don't know who with, you're like, oh, I got you, girl. And then in a few minutes you come back saying, oh, her name is this and she lives here and she goes to this school and you'll probably be able to meet her tomorrow at this coffee shop where she goes there every day after hot yoga and that kind of thing. You're the person finding out those things. Absolutely. That super sleuth, that very intense scorpionic energy where you just like nothing can hold you back. There could also be something like very destructive about you as well. You tear down like things that, like I said, the things that aren't working, or what's the saying in the spiritual community? Things are no longer serving you. You're tearing down those old belief systems and building up new ones. Like blondes, yeah, they have fun, but they're also very intelligent as well. Yes, black women we're known as being angry and bitter. No, we're not. We're also very intelligent, sophisticated, and well spoken. Latino women, oh, they're spicy and they're sexualized and fetishized. We're more than that. We're also great mothers. We're also great this. We're also very intelligent. We're hardworking. That kind of thing. How everyone has stigmas placed on them. You are breaking down those stigmas essentially. Getting rid of the karma, the toxic story that everyone has been told about you or people like you or that kind of thing. Or just about certain things that you believe in general. Because everyone in this group is going to believe in different things, have a different life. So whatever you believe wholeheartedly in, you're breaking down that toxic story that may be attributed to that belief. But like we have here, inheritance. That's also, like I said, tying into the energy that I was talking about. How certain people just inherit certain things. It's like giving maybe, excuse me, how we inherit trauma, we inherit wounds, we inherit curses, stuff like that. You're someone who's breaking those. And I'm not going to be the one who gets pregnant at this age and has 15 kids on the system, and I'm not, getting a job. I'm not going to be that. That's not my story. I'm sorry. That's a toxic story that's been told in my family for generations. It's not going to be mine. You know, that's the energy that I'm getting, honestly. Here we have an astronaut. So yeah, there is something like very, and I always feel like this is like, so it is someone on the pole. So I'm like, what? This always gives me an energy of people, two people in an embrace, but it's someone who's dancing on the pole. People could love your sensuality as well. How they sit with you and have one conversation. It seems like you were so intimate and vulnerable with them, but maybe you really weren't, or maybe you really were. That could be something people admire about you, how you get vulnerable with people. You don't like hold anything back, and you're not someone who's hiding secrets. Even though you may seem mysterious, but you don't have secrets, or you can. It depends who I'm talking to at the moment. It's going to depend for each person watching. Now we have seeking, like I said, you're always seeking new things, seeking adventure, traveling somewhere, You're coming off of someone who's like very professional, who has a very good career, who's successful, who has their life together, I guess we can say. But I was trying to say who has their plan laid out in front of them. They're, making those steps and going along the path undeterred, undisturbed, you could say as well. But here we have foreign travel, adventure, higher education. So, like I said, very intelligent, smart, professional. Customs, faith, beliefs. Your beliefs are a big part of who you are. Like I said, people love the way your mind works, with the way the light was going around the ram's head. We have beliefs, pilgrimages. You could be someone who does a lot of spiritual quests, who puts themselves in different situations that they've never been in before, because you want to grow as a person. So you go on quests, or pilgrimages through the desert to go to, I'm hearing archaeological sites where they're digging up old things. You want to be a part of that group, even if you're not very you don't know what they're digging up or how to be an archaeologist. You just want to be there to see, kind of thing. You want to be there to take notes. You want to learn something new. You want to go on a pilgrimage. You could also be someone who went on like a, what do they call it, a hiking of Europe. What those people say, oh, like, oh, after I graduate high school, I'm going to hike Europe, and then I'm going to take a year off and then go to school. Not to make you sound pretentious or anything, but that's how I know of those things. I've heard pretentious people talk about it, like, oh, I went hiking through Europe and just pilgrimaging and not having really a rhyme or a reason. I'm just going and exploring certain things to learn about different cultures, to put myself in, yeah, positions or situations where I have to learn to get myself out of it. Camping, very extreme, mountain climbing as well, because your body has to be in specific health. Then you have to go through a lot of extremes to make it to the top of mountains, to go like cross countrying or biking or hiking, that kind of thing. Your body has to be in a specific shape in order to do that. And that's funny, because in the beginning I was like, you're the person they want with you in the apocalypse. You're the person they want with you when zombies take over, when they're on an island and they can't get off, because you have that sense of direction, because you've been on these spiritual quests, you've been on these pilgrimages, and you know how to get places, and you know how to get yourself out of funky situations. And it's like, yeah, that's my plus one. That's the one I want to call if I'm on a game show and I want that like, you get one cheat. And this is the friend I want to call, because this friend knows a lot about a whole bunch of different stuff, and they're going to be the one to help me the best out of all my friends. Very intelligent, very small. Like I said, okay, what else? We have spiritual quests, aspirations. We've covered that already. You have a lot of aspirations, a lot of goals. We have journalism. You could be someone who does travel and do journalism, because we have this passport here. So it's giving you been around the world. And I love how we have all these maps in the camel's back. And I think it was for your group, but I was talking about how Dora always had her backpack there to, no, that's probably group two. So you could be called a group two. How Dora always had her backpack to tell her how to get to certain places, and he always just had what that person needed. You know, you're very good at directions and geography and that kind of stuff with the maps here, because you've traveled a lot and you have a good sense of direction, and that's a double entendre, I believe, because a sense of direction is a sense of direction in life. You know where you're going, and then sense of direction is also you literally are just good with north, south, east, west, and longitude and latitude and coordinates and stuff like that. You are good with that. You're good with compasses, and you can find yourself. So okay, so for example, let me use an example for y'all, which y'all probably already understand it, but I love examples. We are on Survivor, okay, and in Survivor they literally can take you, or Lost we can say as well, because that was a show, that was a big show. They literally crashed and they were shredded, and they have to learn how to adapt to the world around them and learn how to eat certain foods and finds out which food were poisonous and set up camp. And someone, like, I feel like, got pregnant on the show, and they had to figure out how to bring a baby into the situation, kind of thing, before they even got rescued, that kind of vibe. It's also giving me, this is a very deep cut for those of you, if you know it, comment, because I love you. Flight 29 Down, that show used to come on, I forget which um network it was, but I feel like it was a network where you paid for like the cheaper cable option. I'm not sure. But Flight 29 Down was like a bunch of teens. It was like Lost, but for teenagers, where their Flight 29 went down in the forest, and there was just a bunch of teenagers who didn't know what to do. They had to deal with poisonous animals, had to learn how to farm, and these were teens who had no idea how to do any of these things, and they had to learn and adapt to their situation, you know. And eventually, of course, there some were good at planting, and some were good at healing wounds, and some were good at, you know, direction and traveling, and you know, getting back to where they were. And you know, what am I trying to say, recognizing landmarks so they didn't get lost. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's the vibe that I'm getting. If somebody were to drop you down in the middle of a desert, blindfold you, turn you around and around and around and around, leave you disoriented, and then just run away, you're gonna have a sense of direction. You're gonna know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You're gonna be the one that knows that if as long as you follow the North Star, it's taking you north, and north takes you towards civilization. Like, you're the person who knows those things. So if you were to ever get lost, you know farming, you know how to grow things, you know which plants are poisonous because you've been on these pilgrimages before. You probably purposely put yourself in these situations, so if you were to ever get lost, you know how to get yourself out of it. You know, that's what you're coming through as, and that's like what people remind you for. You're always prepared for the worst. Oh boy, and we haven't even gotten to the tarot yet. This is crazy. The tarot usually just confirms some things, so let's just get into it. You're good at identifying certain plants, identifying certain landmarks, and that's just the vibe I'm getting for you. You've been through pilgrimages in the desert or in the rainforest, that kind of things. You've been on those kind of tours. Like, you're like a very worldly individual. Okay, so what do people admire about my group threes, please? We have the Tower. Wow. This is very Plutonian energy. How when things fall apart, you're the person they want to go to. What they admire about you is how you're able to function in chaos. We have the Hangman. I wasn't taking reversals for this reading, but I kind of feel like I should take reversals for this reading, for group three anyway. You have the Hangman in reverse. You always know how to get yourself out of a bind. You don't stay stuck for long. You don't stay hung up for long. Hangman is stasis mode, having to learn a lesson and stay in that stasis mode until you learn a lesson. You're the person that doesn't stay lost or hung up or confused for long. You're getting yourself out of a situation like that. You know, Five of Wands in reverse. You're good at something control, conflict control. You're not someone who fights with people. You're not someone who gets out of character. You're definitely someone who stays very even tempered in a fight, and you don't let people see that it affected you in any kind of way. You don't let people get you out of character, essentially. You don't feel the need to have to compete with anyone because you know you have special talents and you're unique, and you're very confident in yourself, I must say. So much so you're just laid back. You're like, I know I'm smart, I know I'm intelligent, I know I'm beautiful, I know I'm successful, I know I'm this, I know I'm that, I know I can do this, whether someone's telling you can or not. You don't have to prove yourself, and that's what people admire about you. You never have to prove yourself, or try to prove yourself anyway. Five of Wands is definitely an energy of fighting, bickering, competition. You don't compete because you know you don't compete where you don't compare. Like, you know those people, you're above them. That's what you consider yourself, above them. So there's no need for you to be fighting with them. You have King of Wands. You're the leader, very confident in who you are, what you want. You're going to go after it. Nothing's going to stop you. We have Six of Wands coming through here. We have Two of Wands coming through here as well. So you go after what you want. Like I said, the world is in the palm of your hand, and you don't let anything stop you. You're also very grounded, very tethered to reality. So you could be someone who's a realist. You have strength. You're very strong. You have a lot of inner strength as well, that a lot of people may not see. We have a Six of Swords, how you're always moving along. It's like, look at this. This person's finding all these weird things to make a ship and move along. Like, we don't have a sail, but we can make this as the helm, and that kind of stuff. You're very good at, like I said, if you were somewhere to put you on a boat, it doesn't always have to be on land. You know how to sail a boat as well. That's coming through, like survival instincts galore. You are very good at that, and people admire you for that. Now we have Knight of Wands, which is like I said, you're always going after what you want. Now letting anyone stop you, not letting hate, back talk, that kind of stuff stop you from going after what you want. So these cards really did just, look at how they're falling. Like I said, if there's any disaster going on, people want you there. They want you there. Because both of y'all are falling from the tower, but they wouldn't want to be with anyone else besides you in like this apocalypse or this burning tower moment. When people are going to the tower moment, they want you there beside them. And I want one more card, Page of Wands. So all these wands are coming through for you guys. We have the King of Wands, we have the Knight of Wands, and then I felt called to pull one more card, and we have the Page of Wands. People love your passion, your zest for life as well. They admire that about you for real. And see, I was using admire for everyone else, but I'm using love for you. And I did say people can fall in love with you very easily. People love your zest for life, your leadership, your commanding energy. Like I was saying for you guys are giving the military officer who's telling everyone what to do. And they feel safe because you have the experience to lead them. You wouldn't be in the position if you didn't have the experience. You're also very like that youthful energy is coming through here with the laid back and the Page of Wands. You are very excitable. You like to learn about new things. If people tell you, I just read this new book and it's so good, oh really? Especially if it's about a topic they love. I'm hearing Greek mythology. They could love mythology, which is why they've traveled so many places, because they're into, and it did say that in the book. It said Greeks, Romans, and Celts. So this person could be into Celtic mythology, Greek mythology, Roman mythology, that kind of stuff, and they love to learn more about that. So whenever there's a conversation going on about it, they get excited. They're very excited to talk about the things that light them up, and they're very passionate about that. Or you are. Sorry, I'm talking about you in the third, and like you're not here. Yeah, that's what people admire about you. How you get things done. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these last two cards here for y'all before I leave you alone, because I was just talking, 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 talking. Okay, so we can get final two cards for people admire. Thank you. We have a snake. Deception, jealousy, betrayal. That's a tower card coming through. People, like I said, you have that energy of, like I said, you tell people things you don't care, but hurts their feelings, which can lead to people not liking you or having uh a grudge against you, jealousy against you, that kind of thing. And then there's also something like where I said you don't worry about competing with people because they don't compare to you. And people could think of that as cocky, and they don't want that kind of attitude you have. So people want to always best you or bring you down a few notches. What is the word people say? They always want to not tame you, belittle you, maybe not. I don't know. The word is not coming through, but like I said, basically they want to bring you down a few notches. Let me get one more card for what people admire most about you. This deception and jealousy. Maybe you are someone who's good at being a snake when you have to be. Because we have deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstab, toxic, and we had toxic story up there. Interesting. We have silent treatment, seduction. I'm hearing character arc. I'm hearing Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, how he used to be someone who was like this. He was very deceptive. He was jealous. He was betraying his people, okay, betraying his family and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, it led to a major story arc where he ended up being the one of the heroes of the show. And we have seduction, sexuality, and counterproductive coming through again. That this energy, the eighth house. So you're very tempting. Can I get one more card? What people admire about you? People admire. Hmm. Maybe people consider you someone who flirts, Look at this lady, looks like Medusa, who just flew out. And why she flew out all the way over here? Medusa, how you turn men to stone, how you turn them away and say, no, I don't want to be with you, that kind of thing. That can get them upset, which is why they're mad that they can't be with you. There could be a lot of people who want to be with you or want to be your friend or be in your energy that you don't allow them to. And it's like there's like a lot of that energy coming through. So this is giving me Medusa. Tell me her hair is not giving the snakes. That's what I'm getting. We have you are the current. People see you as a woman. Let me stop. Wow, Mulan is coming through. Exactly. You're someone who's supposed to be weak and meager or whatever. But whenever her father needed her, the people you love and care about the most, which I was saying in the beginning, whether he needed her, she's like, oh, best believe I'm pretend to be his son and go into the war, even though I'm supposed to be a woman and weak and wimpy, and I'm not supposed to know how to survive a war or be military. And that's coming through again, military war, that kind of thing. I'm not supposed to know how to fight because I'm a woman. I will never forgive that guy for the way he said a woman when he uncovered Mulan's secret. Look, a woman. Like, sir, you was doing a little too much. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm getting crazy. Yeah, you can do a man's job probably better than he could because she was the hero of that story. Even against Shang, who was more what can I say, experienced than her. He was supposed to be her commander. She was the one telling them what to do at the end of the movie to defeat the Huns. You know, it's like I said, when things go to bad, you're the person they want beside you. Mulan was running from the avalanche as soon as she saw that the Huns were alive and they were going to go and try to take over the emperor. She's like, not my friends, even though they left her behind for dead. She's like, not my friends. The way she ran, was trying to warn everyone, but no one would listen to a woman. So she had to take matters into her own hands. And in the end, she saved the emperor, got that sword, took it back to her daddy, and did him proud. Period. That's you. They admire you for your bravery, your courage. You do things other women or other people would not want to do. They're scared to do a man's job. Point blank. Period. Okay. Um. So yeah, people see you as very feminine and very seductive, but then when you kind of show your more masculine side, it could turn some people off. But there's people who admire you for that. Okay, so if there are people who rag on you for that jealousy, that thing, deception kind of thing, it's like there are people who admire you for that. And I don't know how Medusa's coming through, but I was watching, like I said, in group one or two or both. I don't know. I've been watching Charm, the reboot again, and one of the most recent episodes that I watched was they were telling Medusa's story, but it's a new retelling of her story, which said that she was raped by Poseidon in the temple of Athena, and Athena kind of cursed her by turning her and her sisters into a demogorgon. Let me stop. Into gorgons, which are women who turn men into stone kind of vibe. And some people say Athena was doing it to protect her, and some people say they were doing it because she was jealous. Some people say she was doing it because she defiled her temple, even though it was the man who came and did it in the first place, that kind of thing. And now Medusa turned in from someone who was sweet, who was a prophet or acolyte, to Athena, to someone who was turning men to stone. She turned into the villain. So as soon as she was doing something that nobody wanted her to do, which is a woman doing a man's job, everybody started, having things to say. And she was made the villain. Yeah, that could be your story arc. You could have a villain story arc. Because like I said, we have toxic story coming through and toxic coming through here. There's something here about that. People could also admire how you're able to give certain people the silent treatment as well. But here we have you're the core, a person girlfriend, fiance, spouse, love interest, feminine energy. People do see you, like I said, as that spouse, that perfect spouse, the perfect completion to whoever they are. They'll be with the perfect wife, perfect husband, perfect partner, whatever is coming through. Whatever you believe in, but here we have a woman. So I do think this is like mostly a woman energy. And it's funny how I said this is mostly a woman energy and we have a freaking mature man coming through. Like I said, you have like a very masculine energy and it intimidates people, but they also admire you for it because they wouldn't be able to do it. There's probably some backlash you get from being more masculine. It's like, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. Thank you. Anyway, the snake. You tempt people to do things that they were told not to do, which is something the patriarchy, which is deconstructing it, which is going against it, that kind of thing. That's that deception thing. People like to make the snake out as the villain in the story of Adam and Eve because he tempted them to eat the apple, but the apple was the apple of wisdom and knowledge. Why weren't they able to eat it? Why couldn't they be smart? Why couldn't they have knowledge? They're telling women, "Oh no, stay at home and take care of the kids, and the husband does the work, and he's supposed to be the scholar and the breadwinner and the provider." And you're like, "No, I don't do that. I want to know things. I want to learn. I want to bite from that apple of knowledge. Why weren't they able to know certain things? I don't like that. You know what I mean?" So you're like I said, you're going against the patriarchy, what society tells you to do, and that's like that deception. You know what I mean? And you can use your feminine wiles to do it. Because you know that as a woman, you have certain, je ne sais quoi about you that men will fall for, and they would do things for you, and you kind of use that to get your foot in the door, and then you kind of come in and dominate. I'm hearing, I gotta turn the something to a dance floor, determinate from Lemonade Mouth. So you're gonna turn the world into your dance floor. So yeah, you're doing whatever you want to do, and you're not really giving a flying caboodle, and I love that. Okay. But yeah, it's counterproductive. Things that people think you're not supposed to be doing is what you're doing, but it's not counterproductive. It's actually getting you places, which is why you continue to do it. Okay, but I'm gonna stop right there. That's all that I have for you guys. I hope this didn't resonate. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can always get in contact with me. It's my email on the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.